You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm no good, you know I'm lying.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Y'all know what time it is, man. We are here in the building on this good, great, grand Tuesday morning. The doctor's in the house. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. All right, all right, all right. Who we got? Who we got? We got my boy Oscar in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. We got my boy Dub in the building. Oh, Dub, we missed you yesterday, brother. What's up with that, bro? You was enjoying Veterans Day? That's what I'm talking about. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their Veterans Day, man, you know. And let us keep at the forefront of our minds brave and courageous and altruistic individuals that laid down, you know, the ultimate price, you know, paid the ultimate price, and even and be thankful to the ones that didn't pass as well, you know, the ones that who volunteered to potentially make that sacrifice, you know, on behalf of the country and behalf of our freedoms. You know, I know that there's some people, you know, let's be honest, that there's some people that join the military for selfish reasons, but there's a lot of people that do a lot of things for selfish reasons that aren't as beneficial to society. So, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to the good folks out there, you know, and happy Veterans Day to yours and your loved ones, you know. But please, before we get started, let's go ahead and bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord, for the blessings, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for the brave and courageous individuals and soldiers that are ready to make the ultimate sacrifice on behalf of other people's freedoms and on behalf of other people's ability to do what they want and be quote unquote free and choose and have the option to live in a world where, you know, it's not dictated by others. And Lord, so we thank you for those that made that sacrifice and signed up voluntarily, Lord. And so please continue to bless them and their families, especially those that fell. You know, are in a much better place with you, Lord. Thank you also for our blessings and continuing to lead us in the right direction and giving us opportunity to be another day to be thankful and another day to strive and another day to shoot for our goals and aim for the stars, Lord. And please let us not take things for granted and appreciate the small things like the time that we have, you know, because tomorrow's never promised. So please let us enjoy the little things like spending time with our families, our loved ones, our friends, smelling the flowers, walking in the air, feeling the breeze, enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the rain. Lord, so please let's just be more thankful and always remind us that a joyful spirit is a grateful spirit, and an appreciative spirit always brings more blessings. Through Jesus' name, amen. Amen, amen, amen. God bless. I'm just listening because mofo's gonna cry about Boots, aka Slippers. Was that? I was going in yesterday, bro. I was going in yesterday about Boots, man. We was talking about it, man. We was talking about it. I thought Boots, like I said, I think that's now this is just my opinion on it. You know, we could talk about it briefly before we get into the main topic. I think that when it comes to Boots, that's the penalty, right? Same with Benavidez. He's in a similar position, right? When he doesn't look good, we saw with Vosdick, people start to question things because we remember that he wants Canelo. So when Boots doesn't look good, we're gonna start questioning things because we remember that he wants Bud. But he didn't look bad at all. He said, turn your head. If you turn your head defense at 154, it's definitely not going to work. So, I don't think that he looked bad. I think people are exaggerating. He just looked underwhelming because we expected him to knock out Karen and do him dirty, which is what he kind of said he was going to do, right? But I think that he just severely underestimated Karen. And I think a lot of people also have as well. And I think that Karen is a good fighter. And, you know, I think people forget that it wasn't just one-sided. Boots wasn't the only person seeing their opponent twice, right? Karen got to see Boots again. And I don't think Boots really anticipated Karen being able to adapt. And to me, that's not a good thing because, number one, it showed his lack of adaptability in the ring. If that's what he was frustrated by, because first he was frustrated by the movement, excessive movement in the first fight, and then now he's frustrated by the excessive clinching. Well, those are two opposite ends of the spectrum, so that means you just have to adapt. But I thought he did well. I mean, he, like I said, he washed him. So, and all in all, people, you know, we live in the era where people just like to be extremists. You know what I'm saying? Like, so did he look as impressive as we thought or I thought? Nah. But did he look bad? Nah. I mean, look at the scorecards. The scorecards, he washed them almost. But I will say this though, you know, you make the bed, you got to lay in it. When you consider one of the best, you talk like you're the best and everybody's avoiding you and you want Bud, who's the pound for pound best, then, you know, you are going to be critiqued a little harder. But sometimes I think that we do have to realize that they are supposed to feel like they're the best. That they're in the hurt game. And I don't think that he looked bad. I think Karen is a tough fight for a lot of people. But yeah, he definitely it was an underwhelming performance for Boots. We have to remember that. It's not an underwhelming performance in general. It was just an underwhelming performance for Boots, you know, and just like when Canelo doesn't knock out Berlanga, maybe an underwhelming performance for Canelo because he's Canelo, but it's not an underwhelming performance because he dominated, you know what I'm saying? So when you're great, you're burdened with greatness and people expect a lot of you. We got JC in the building. Turn and slip defense equals slippers. He's not Boots anymore. It's crazy. But yeah, so I have some news right here, man. This is very interesting. I want to show y'all. I can show you, man. I can tell you. Look at this. Like I said, I saw some news about this. Remember, we told y'all before that according to Devin Haney and some other folks, you know, Big Turk and stuff, they tried to make this fight Devin Haney's comeback fight, but Teofimo turned it down. and they have not really refuted that. You know what I'm saying? So now apparently Teofimo versus Devin Haney is reportedly now in talks to potentially take place next for Tio's WBO super lightweight world title. And you know, remember they had the WBO convention in Puerto Rico, and they said that one of the things they were going to do was make Tio fight as mandatory. But I mean, Devin Haney's obviously not as mandatory, but he is. I think that he's sufficient enough. You know what I'm saying? Who is his mandatory? Who is the mandatory for the WBO at 140? Oh yeah, Arnold Barbosa. That's right. Yeah, Arnold, because Arnold Barbosa is mandatory, and he's fighting Jose Carlos Ramirez actually this Saturday. So he's already occupied. So you know, Devin Haney's not gonna be in the rankings because he's a champion of recess, and the WBC, you know, they don't cross contaminate. But yeah, so this fight is supposedly happening next. I'm gonna treat this fight like I treat the Zepeda and Shakur fight. I believe it when I see it. I'm not saying people are lying. I'm not saying that Forbes is wrong, because this is according to Forbes. It was according to some other people as well. I believe it when I see it, man. I don't think Teofimo is I don't think Teofimo really wants to fight people as much as he puts on, you know. But yeah, that'd be a good fight. That'd be a great fight, especially as a comeback fight. That's very dangerous. I wouldn't advise Devin Haney to have that as his first comeback fight. But it's a good fight, man. I like it. I love it. I love it, but I just don't know if it's true. And also, too, I want to say, man, we have some boxing coming on this weekend, and I was shocked. Guillermo Rigondeaux? Guillermo Rigondeaux is still fighting? What are we doing? Rigo is still fighting, chat? What are we doing? I didn't know Guillermo Rigondeaux. Matter of fact, I said this weekend. Guillermo Rigondeaux fights tonight. I don't know if it's going to be broadcasted, but we're going to watch it. It's going to be in Florida. I wish I would have known about it. It's in Miami. This man is still fighting, bro. And I don't know. I don't know. He's 44 years old, man. You know, like I said, he's 44 years old.
Damn.
And
I'm sorry.
I don't know, man. He's fighting a gentleman named Danis Aguero Arias. And it just makes you think, right? Loma is considered old, right? Loma's 36. This is one of the guys that Loma beat. A guy that's 8 years older than him. No one said that he was old. You know? But he's 44 years old and he's still fighting. Makes you think, like, hold on. Not saying everybody's different. Just because someone's fighting when they're 44 doesn't mean that you could be fighting when you're 36. But I just think that's kind of funny, man. You know, one of his best wins is 44 years old, and he's still fighting. That's crazy. How old was he when him and Loma fought? Let's see. When he fought Loma, 2017. So he fought Loma 7 years ago. Dang, I thought it was longer than that. Only 7 years ago? So he was, guess what? 37, older than Loma. Did anybody call Rigondeaux old? Now, speaking of old, we're going to segue right into the right into a main topic, man. And one of the main topics is Bam Rodriguez. Is he forced greatness? Is he forced greatness? I think Bam Rodriguez is a beast. Jesse Rodriguez is a beast. Yeah, I agree. Tio wants people outside of his way. I agree. Bam Rodriguez is a great fighter. He's a great up-and-coming fighter. Emphasis on the up-and-coming. I think that he has he's on a trajectory to be a top pound-for-pound fighter. To be, he's not there yet. Literally because of his opposition or lack of, you know. And the reason why I say that, because I know some people will be like, oh, well, he's a legend killer. Yeah, he's a legend killer while they're in the retirement home. Because it's just funny, right? Because if Tank fights Loma, who's 36 years old and has 21 fights, people say, oh, he's old now, right? So let's keep the same energy, right? If he's old now at 36 with 21 fights and a champion, what about Pedro Guevara? Everybody's clapping up that he beat Pedro Guevara. He was the first person to stop Pedro Guevara. Not the first person to beat Pedro Guevara, because he can't do that, because he wouldn't be the first, second, third, or fourth person to beat Pedro Guevara. He's the fifth person to beat Pedro Guevara, but he is the first person to stop him. Pedro Guevara has 50. Has how many fights is he at? Let me look it up real quick. Pedro Guevara has 58 fights, I believe. Sorry, he has 48 fights. Sorry, I added 10. Pedro Guevara is 35 years old with 48 fights. That's over 2 times as many fights as Lomachenko, who we would call old if he fought Tank. So he has more than 2 times as many fights as Lomachenko, and he's 1 year younger. So in actuality, in boxing terms, he's older. And we're celebrating Bam Rodriguez because he stopped a guy who's 42-4 and 1 draw. And we're saying it's okay to celebrate that because that's dope. But to say that he's the best in the sport, how can you put him over anybody who's unified or undisputed? So when I see people put him at number 4, how can he be over Canelo? Canelo is undisputed. He's not literally undisputed now because he vacated in order to not fight William Skull, right? But was undisputed, considered undisputed. If you're undisputed is the biggest achievement that you can make in the sport. So how can you put somebody over Cinnamon if he's undisputed and this guy's not even unified? I like Bam Rodriguez too, but it feels very like manufactured, like the machine is behind him and they're forcing him upon us. Like he's good, let him be good and let him go through the natural process of progression that everybody goes through to be great. We don't just catapult and springboard people to greatness because you like him. Like I like Bam Rodriguez a lot too, but he beat Juan Francisco Estrada, Gallo, who is what? He was older as well. So he said, I don't think Boots is a high job. I just don't think he's on Crawford or Spence level. So basically, yeah, I agree, Carolyn. I don't think he's a high job either. But I do think that he's being rushed as well. We'll get to that as well. But Bam Rodriguez is like, excuse me. So Bam Rodriguez beat Carlos Cuadras. How old is Carlos Cuadras, chat? Carlos Cuadras is 36 years old with 47 fights again. So he beat a guy that's the same age as Lomachenko, but has twice as many fights as Lomachenko. But if Tank fights Lomachenko, we say that Lomachenko's old while he's a champion. Bam Rodriguez beat Carlos Cuadras, and he's, you know, he beat Carlos Cuadras, who's 36 years old and has double the fights of Juan Francisco Estrada, right? Let's keep it going. Bam Rodriguez also beat Juan Francisco Estrada. Juan Francisco Estrada is 34, a little younger, but he also has 48 fights. So he's an older fighter because when you're in the smaller divisions, being in your 30s, especially mid to late 30s, is considered older, right? And so, like I said, he's winning in great fashion, but he's kind of supposed to. He's going to the retirement home and removing these legends out of their assisted living space and beating on them, you know? And guess who's next, chat? Guess who they're saying is next, chat? They're saying that he wants to fight a 37-year-old Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, who has 56 fights. You heard that, 56 fights. 56 fights.
Damn! I'm sorry.
And you're telling me that this puts him above Canelo or Beterbiev? So we're not impressed with Tank fighting Lomachenko because he's old, right? But we're impressed with Bam Rodriguez fighting 4 guys in their late 30s with 48 plus fights. Chocolatito suddenly, magically, miraculously became the #1 mandatory in the WBC, the belt that Bam Rodriguez has. You think that's a coincidence? You think that's a coincidence that Roman Gonzalez, who hasn't fought, I think he fought in March, right, against Barrera. He just fought Barrera, not March, sorry, like in July. He fought in July against Barrera, right? Before that, he didn't fight in nearly 2 years. How the heck does Barrera put you at #1 mandatory in the WBC unless they're trying to move somebody a certain way to make them look like something that they otherwise wouldn't look? You know, Bam Rodriguez, I think he's a great fighter. Like I said, I think he's going to destroy Roman Gonzalez again. And I think that he is the best in the 115-pound division. So for those of you that are hard of hearing or like to assume something because I'm not giving him the ridiculous, exaggerated amount of praise that others are giving him, I'm not catapulting him anywhere. I'm holding him to the same standard of everybody else. He doesn't get a unfair grading rubric. He has to abide by the same criteria, satisfy the same criteria to be great as everybody else, and that takes time. So what I'm saying is that I think Bam is the best at 115-pound division, But he has to prove it. It don't matter what I think. It matters what you show. And beating Roman Gonzalez, Carlos Cuadras, and Pedro Guevara, I don't care what fashion you beat them in, by knockout in the first round, they're still older. Juan Francisco Estrada, all these guys are called legends because what? Because of what they did, not because of what they're doing. El Gallo, the Rooster, he's a beast. But no one considers him to be as good as he was before. So when you're Bam Rodriguez and Chris Mannix asks you, oh, what would it do? What would it mean for you to beat Roman Gonzalez and for you to take out the four legends of the past flyweight division? And you say, come on, that'd be awesome. I'll wipe them out. No crap. They're old. I don't know, man. It's just crazy, bro. And you know what's even crazier? I will say in Bam Rodriguez's defense, he says he wants to unify, right? I don't think he's going to unify. I think he's going to fight with Chocolatito Gonzalez because I know a lot of people are unfamiliar with the smaller weights, but I think not only from a monetary standpoint, the other champions aren't as popular, aren't as renowned, so they won't make as much money or generate as much revenue as Chocolatito. But also, I think that with Eddie Hearn, I think he's prioritizing the money, and which is okay. That's what they're supposed to do. But also, Eddie Hearn's going to look at the landscape and see what the champion Fernando Puma Martinez, the Argentinian fighter, he has a fight coming up in December against Kazuto Ioka, and then the other champion Fumalelu Kafu, the South African fighter who just beat Kosei Tanaka at 115 to be a champion. He just got out of a fight, so they're probably not going to get that immediately. Even though Bam Rodriguez just got out of a fight too, and Kafu just fought, that to me that should be the one that's easiest to make. But then you have the red tape with fighting across the street and all that stuff. And I don't know who Kafu signed with. I want to say maybe Top Rank, but don't quote me. But anyway, it's like, how can you say somebody who's not even definitively the best in their division because he's not unified or undisputed? So whether you just because you like him is not enough to put him over other people definitively. Yes, I think Bam Rodriguez beats Fumaleli Kafu. I think Bam Rodriguez beats Martinez. But me thinking that is not enough. You got to show me. And beating Roman Gonzalez does nothing for that. Beating Pedro Guevara, I don't care if you're the first person to knock him out. I don't know why that's being emphasized so much. He's the fifth person to beat him. Yes, 5. He's not the first, second, third, or fourth. He's the 5th person to beat him just because he beat him by stoppage. A guy with 48 fights, and he's 36 years old. We're impressed by that now. So how is that more impressive than Tank beating undefeated Frank Martin and beating him by stoppage? How is that more impressive than Tank beating Leo Santa Cruz and being the first person to ever stop him? Leo Santa Cruz only had 1 loss, and that was to Carl Frampton, and he avenged that loss. And then Tank beat him, and by stoppage, you to hear everybody say, oh, he's the first person to ever stop Leo Santa Cruz. So it's just so funny when people conveniently, when they're trying to control a narrative, they conveniently highlight and emphasize the accomplishments of others when others did the same exact accomplishment on better opposition. Wasn't Tank the first person to stop Mario Barrios, who's a champion right now? Did anybody else stop Mario Barrios? I know Mario Barrios lost to Keith Thurman. Did he lose to Keith Thurman before or after Tank, and did he lose by stoppage? The answer is no. It's no and no. The answer is he lost to Tank first, and he lost by stoppage first. He hasn't been stopped since. I don't hear anybody say, oh, he's the first person to ever stop Mario Barrios. So, like, why are we selectively boosting people up? I mean, I understand why Matchroom and Eddie Hearn's doing it because that's their fighter. But let's be honest and let's be fair. I'm sorry, there's not much impressive about stopping. If you're a 23-year-old young bull who we're expecting great things of, there's very a limited amount that I could get excited for you stopping Pedro Guevara. And Pedro Guevara is a good fighter, but he's on the tail end of his career. So I have a question with this though. So he did say he wants to prioritize unifying, right? That's what he said. You know what could help facilitate that? The fact that Fernando Martinez, the other champion at 115, by the way, he's also undefeated and he's slightly younger, you know what I'm saying, than the people that he's looking to fight and has been fighting. He's called him out. So he wants to fight. So it's not a case where people are avoiding Bam Rodriguez. Fernando Martinez has been calling out Bam Rodriguez, and he just called him out again and said, you want to unify after I beat Ioka? If he beats him, because I don't think he should look over Ioka. If he beats Ioka, then he should unify with Bam. Bam should want to unify with him. That's a much better fight. Oh, by the way, Fumaleli Kafu, the other guy, the South African fighter, he's also a champion. Oh, by the way, he's also undefeated. So wouldn't that be more impressive? Or we don't care about unifications, though. We want Bam Rodriguez to fight Naya anyway instead of fighting the Argentinian undefeated fighter in his division that's a champion that's calling him out, or fighting the South African undefeated champion that's in his division that I'm sure would be willing to fight him. We want him to fight Junto Nakatani at a higher weight division, and we want him to fight Naoya Inoue, who's at a twice as high two higher weight divisions, and we just springboarded him to greatness. So that means, so what's the difference between Puma Martinez and Bam Rodriguez? They're both undefeated. They're both Hispanic. They're both at 115. Why is it Bam? It's an agenda, bro. And like I said, I like Bam Rodriguez. I think he's great. I personally believe that he beats Fumaledi Cafu. I think he beats Fernando Martinez as well. I think he's going to beat the hell out of Roman Chocolatito. You know, that shouldn't even count. But you still have to prove it. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just what it calls, more than just doing stuff. You have to do it. I mean, it's more than just thinking stuff. You have to do it. Bam resume better than Tank. One King Mazamusa in the building. Yeah, you're stupid as hell. One dummy. Shout out to my guy Mazamusa in the building. Bam Rodriguez's resume is not better than Tank's. You're saying it's better than Tank's because you like Bam Rodriguez. Bam Rodriguez is not better than Tank. You think beating Pedro Guevara is impressive, but you don't give Tank credit for being Santa Cruz. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be Tank. It could be anybody. Since we want to talk about Tank, let's talk about Tank. Him beating Santa Cruz is more impressive than anybody that Bam Rodriguez beat on his resume. Facts. Pedro Guevara had, like I said, he had 4 losses. Juan Francisco Estrada had losses as well. Carlos Cuadras had losses as well. All of them were in their late 30s, mid to late 30s. So Leo Santa Cruz alone is better than Pedro Guevara. Even the future, I give him a future victory over Roman Gonzalez. Leo Santa Cruz alone is better than that. Mario Barrios alone is better than that. Jose Sniper Pedraza is better than all of Bam Rodriguez wins. Just because you don't acknowledge it doesn't mean it's not the truth. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to acknowledge the truth for it to be true. It's truth stands alone. There's no Bam Rodriguez resume is you think is good because you don't think independently. There's nothing that's great about beating older legends. Like I said, it's funny because Tank would fight Lomachenko, who's 36 years old with 21 fights, and you'll be like, oh, he's old, but then you're impressed by Bam Rodriguez being the 5th person to beat Pedro Guevara, who's 35 years old with 48 fights. That's over double the amount of fights that Lomachenko has. But Lomachenko's old though, right? Because you don't want to be impressed if Tank beats him. And if Shakur beats Lomachenko, you don't want to be impressed if Shakur does it. But you want to be impressed when Bam Rodriguez beats a older 58 fight Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, who's 37. Older than Lomachenko. Older than Lomachenko and has almost triple his fights. That's what you want to be impressed with. Fuck out of here. Goofy. Stupid, bro. Anyway, but yeah, we have Guillermo. We got Smoochie in the building. We got Guillermo Rigondeaux fighting tonight, man. A guy who's 44. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Bam Rodriguez could fight him next. We got hey chat. We got Guillermo Rigondeaux, chat. Guillermo Rigondeaux fighting Danis Aguero Arias tonight. You know what I'm saying? This is Guillermo Rigondeaux, man. He's fighting tonight, chat. Maybe after he wins, he's 44 years old. Maybe Bam could fight him next instead of fighting Fernando Martinez or Fumaledi Cafu, because we have people like Manzamusa would be excited about that. Goofy. That joke is crazy, man. Meanwhile, Lomachenko, who has 21 fights, is considered old for Shakur and Tank, just so people could have an excuse to not be impressed by their accomplishments. That's crazy to me, bro. Bro, like I said, I've seen people say Bam Rodriguez is above Canelo on the pound for pound list, above Beterbiev. This guy's not even unified yet. He's literally not the best of his division, because if you want to, let me show you something, chat. Let me show you something. Let me see. Let's look at this together. I want because people think that how they feel is facts. How you feel is just how you feel. You can think Bam is better, but that's not what the facts would lead you to believe. Let's look at it. If you actually looked at the facts, but you want to look at your feelings. Look at this. 115. Fernando Martinez, right? Fernando Martinez had 2 of these belts. It's vacant right now. You know why it's vacant? Because Fernando Martinez didn't want to fight Wilibado Garcia. You know why he didn't want to fight Wilibado Garcia? Because he wants to have a rematch with Kazuto Ioka, because it's more lucrative, right? So he had 2 belts. He just vacated. And if you think I'm lying, watch this. Fernando Martinez vacates. When was this? November 1st. We are in November 12th. What? Not found. Hold on. So, okay, let's go to this one. October 31st. Fernando Martinez vacates IBF Super Flyweight title. Wilibardo Garcia could face Rene Calito for the belt in December. Bro, I don't be lying, bro. Like, I pay attention to stuff, bro. That's why you come over here, because I pay attention. You don't pay attention? I got you. I'm going to give you the facts. You may not want to accept it, but I'm going to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to take it. Let me stop. Pause. Hey, yo. But look, so he vacated the IBF Super Flyweight, right? Meaning he had 2 belts. So literally speaking, when it comes to accomplishments, because that's what's important, even more important than what you think and what you like and preferential treatment that you give, Bam Rodriguez is not the best in his division. The best in the division would have to be Fernando Martinez. Why? Because he had 2 belts. Because we value accomplishments over here. Fernando Martinez was unified. Bam Rodriguez, not so much. Fumuledi Cafu, not so much. But Fumuledi Cafu was an undefeated champion. Fernando Martinez is an undefeated champion. Bam Rodriguez is an undefeated champion. Why not unify? But instead, we want to fight Roman Gonzalez, who's magically a mandatory at 37 years old with 58 fights. Fuck out of here, bro. Fuck out. I don't know. If you're impressed with that, you don't call anybody. There's nobody that's old in boxing. If you're impressed by Bam Rodriguez beating older fighters, then nobody's old. Nobody's old. That's no longer an excuse for you not to be impressed. You know what I'm saying? So if Tank beats Lomachenko, or Lomachenko beats, because it's not guaranteed that Lomachenko loses to Tank or Shakur. But if Shakur and Loma fight and Shakur beats them, or Tank and Loma fight and Tank beats him, I don't want to hear nothing about him being old. Because he's not as old as Bam Rodriguez's last 4 opponents. And he definitely doesn't have as many fights as any of them. Well, Sonny Edwards. He had more. I think he has as many fights as Sonny Edwards. But, you know what I'm saying? Sonny Edwards is not why you think he's great. You think he's great because he beat Carlos Cuadras and Pedro Guevara suddenly. But, yeah, so that's just... I like Bam Rodriguez, like I said. I think he's great. I just don't like when people try to push. You could literally see the agenda being pushed, bro. Like, it's like, why is he be impressed so hard? What about him is more impressive than my guy Legacy in the building? My bad, Legacy. I didn't see you. What about him is more impressive than what Junto Nakatani's doing? If that's the case, Junto Nakatani should be above these guys too. Junto Nakatani should be number 4 or number 5. He's undefeated. He's a champion. He's not unified, right? Because you don't have to be unified. So he's undefeated. He's a champion, and he's at a higher division. So why isn't Junto Nakatani considered one of the best? He easily fits the criteria if Bam Rodriguez does. Look. Now he's saying Tank is damn near 30 and his best win is Leo. Oh, okay. Ezra Taylor is also 30. He's a prospect right now. So since age matters. So Tank is old at 30, but Pedro Guevara is not. He just don't make sense, bro. It's tough. He said his best win is Leo. No, I think his best win would probably be the guy who's a champion right now, in Mario Barrios, who's a champion in 2 higher weight divisions right now. How about the other guy, Isa Pipo Cruz, who was a champion at 140? I think that'd be a good win too. Oh, what about the undefeated fighter Jose Sniper Pedraza? Oh, okay. Who's giving him too much credit? You're just not giving him any credit, or any other fighter, by the way, because you also think that Bam Rodriguez is better than Canelo, a guy who's the first ever undisputed at 168. You're putting Bam Rodriguez above him. You said it yourself. You put him over Beterbiev too, a guy who just went undisputed in light heavyweight and he's undefeated, and he only didn't knock out 1 guy. So why are you even bringing up age? You're saying you're giving him too much credit for not doing nothing. What has Bam done? Everybody that he beat was 35 or up. With 40 plus fights. Who has he beaten that was undefeated? Exactly. So when you answer those questions, tell me who Bam Rodriguez beat that was undefeated to tell me, to prove to me that he should be better than Canelo and Beterbiev, 2 guys that are undisputed. You sound dumb. Bam was just a unification fight with Edwards. Bam is over Canelo on pound for pound for me because now, because I look at what you've done in the last 3-4 years, which is also very stupid. Since losing to Bivol, I don't like anything Canelo's. It don't matter what you like. It doesn't matter what you like. It's facts. You know what I'm saying? What you like, and that's okay if you like Bam Rodriguez more. We can't tell you who to like, but we're not gonna boost up accomplishments. We're not gonna boost up accomplishments just because you like somebody. We're not gonna fabricate accomplishments because you like somebody, you don't like somebody. So we're not gonna discredit people because you don't like them, and then over credit somebody because you like them. Sonny Edwards is nothing. I mean, if we're gonna say Leo Santa Cruz, like Mansa Musa said that he didn't even give Tank credit for beating Sniper Pedraza. This is Mansa Musa's words. So why are you giving him credit for being Sonny Edwards? Is Sonny Edwards better than Jose Sniper Pedraza? I'm just asking. I mean, did you know about did you even know who Sonny Edwards was before he fought Bam Rodriguez? Exactly. Exactly. Pitbull is now Pitbull's not a good win. Now Pitbull's not a good, but Pedro Guevara's a good win. Okay. Do you see the hypocrisy? This man just said Pitbull is a C-level guy, a guy who's a champion at 140. Why is he a C-level guy? Because you don't like him? He's a champion, right? Did I make that up or no? Was he not a champion at 140? Did I make that up? Does he not have less losses than Pedro Guevara? So Pedro Guevara is impressive, but Pitbull's not impressive. Oh, okay. I thought I was the one that wasn't giving anybody credit. Yeah, exactly. Boy, y'all some meat eaters. Boy, I ain't gonna lie. DD is number one in pound for pound. Yeah. If we're so we're gonna neglect what you've done in the last years because Angry Mexican said so. So we're gonna discredit what Canelo has done because he hasn't done it in the last 3 years. And in the last 3 years, Bam Rodriguez beat guys that were in retirement. 1 foot in retirement, 1 foot in the ring. Get out of here, bro. Like, people just make up stuff. So, since when is a pound for pound list? What have you done in the last 3 years? So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight, Angry Mexican. Let me get this straight, bro. Let me get this straight. I just wanna let me get this straight, bro. So because, but when did Usyk get undisputed at cruiserweight? When did Naya Inoue get undisputed at bantamweight? Was it in the last 3 years? Because if it's not, then that means that you don't count that. So it doesn't count because you say so. So Terrence Bud Crawford and Naya Inoue Usyk, they're only undisputed in one division because it didn't happen in the last 2 years or 3 years, whatever you said. Get out, bro. Come on, bro. Like, stop it, bro. You see, this is, and people think this makes sense. People think this makes sense. Hey, yo, that's crazy, bro. I've heard it all, bro. I've heard it all, bro. This is how much people reach to boost up the person that they like and denounce somebody that they don't like. That's crazy, bro. So yeah, so Bam should be number one because Canelo didn't get undisputed yesterday, and Bam beat Pedro Guevara yesterday, a guy who had 4 losses prior to him beating him, because he's the first person to ever stop him. A guy who has 48 fights. No, they're impressed by that, but they're not impressed by Tank beating a champion. You know, Pitbull, who was a champion, is unimpressive, but it's impressive that you beat Pedro Guevara, another guy who you probably never heard of until Bam fought him. You know. Bro, if I would have said Pedro Guevara before Saturday, you know what Angry Mexican would have said? Angry Mexican and Mansa Musa would have said,
"Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that? You know damn well who I am. Who the fuck is that?"
Oh, so they're super impressed now. They're uber impressed. Get out of here, man. You got it, bro. You got it, bro. You got it, bro. I ain't even worried about it no more, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Oh, man, my stomach hurt, bro. That's too funny, bro. Oh, my gosh. You said Bud Inoue and Usyk all went under. No, you're lying. So and this is where our conversation ends. You said 3 to 4 years ago that Bud got undisputed at 140. That's a lie. Let's look it up right now. I'm gonna prove that he's lying right now. He said that they all went undisputed in that time frame. You see how people don't listen? I said so you wouldn't count both of his undisputeds. I don't know if you understand. I know you understand because you're typing in English, so you understand English. Ramon was good. You understand English because you're typing in English. I said that you wouldn't count one of their undisputeds. You would, meaning you would only count one of their undisputeds. So one for, no, exactly. So what you just said to prove my point. So what was the point of you saying that? I literally said that you wouldn't count both of their undisputeds because in the last 3-4 years they only went once. I literally said that. So how are you saying that they all went undisputed in that time? 2 minus 1 would still be 1. So yes, they went undisputed at 147. But 3 years ago would put us in 2021. He was at welterweight fighting Sean Porter. He was at welterweight fighting Sean Porter. No, you don't change it now. We have the transcript. You said Bud, Inoue, and Usyk all went undisputed in that time frame because you tried to refute what I said. But now you realize that you sound like a dummy, and you're just thirsty to try to refute what somebody said, and you're wrong. Like I said, you would only count one of his undisputed because it wasn't in the 3 to 4 year time frame that you arbitrarily picked and made up just so you can make Bam look good. Get the freak out of here, bro. Yeah, you got it, bro. I don't argue with people just try to. This is not a discussion. This is an argument now. Because when you argue, you omit all types of reason and logic. You're just trying to be right, and you're clearly wrong. I literally said that that in those 3 years, some of them between Bud, Usyk, and anyway, you wouldn't be able to count both of their undisputeds. That's what I literally said. So, and now at first you said Bud, Inoue, and Usyk, and now you're trying to reduce it now to Inoue alone. No, bro, come on, say what you said and stand on it, bro. You're just wrong, man. You want to discredit people's accomplishments. So first we went from saying that Pitbull is not a good win because for whatever reason you don't think he's a good champion. That's fine. You don't have to be a good champion. But tell me why Pedro Guevara is a good champion. So Chocolatito at this moment in time, if Bam Rodriguez fights Chocolatito, who's 37 years old with 58 fights, you'll be impressed, right? But then you won't be impressed if Tank beats Lomachenko, who's 36 with 21 fights. Who's younger with almost 3 times less as many fights. You wouldn't be impressed with that if Shakur or Tank beats him. But you're impressed if Roman Gonzalez gets his head knocked off and decapitated by Bam Rodriguez. Yeah, sure. yeah, sure. Shout out to Bam Rodriguez, though. I think he's going to be one of the best. Right now, he's just not it. There's no way you could put him over Bud. There's no way you could put him over Inoue. There's no way you could put him over Usyk. There's no way you could put him over Beterbiev. There's no way you could put him over Canelo. So those are 5 guys that no way, shape, or form or fashion are worse than Bam Rodriguez. Not even worse. I don't like to use that word because they're all good, including Bam Rodriguez. But you cannot tell me that Bam Rodriguez is better than any of those 5 guys. You know why? Because all those 5 guys, like the burger, they all been undisputed. Some of them twice. Bam Rodriguez not even unified. Freak out of here, bro. And you want to say, oh, he beat Sonny Edwards. You didn't even know who Sonny Edwards was. Freak out of here, bro. But yeah, let's talk about Boots, man. I'm done with this, man. You got it, bro. Bam is the best. You know, everything everybody else does fails in comparison because you say so. Because what they didn't happen yesterday. But yeah, so let's talk about Boots being overhyped. I don't think Boots is a hype job, man. I think Boots is very good. I just think that Boots is missing the key ingredient, like Bam Rodriguez. You know, he's missing a great opponent to put him in the pound for pound upper echelon fighters. You know, I think that Bam Rodriguez looks good. I think Boots looks good. Boots looks so good that we are unimpressed by a great dominant win over Karen Chukadzian, you know, this past Saturday. Now, do I think Boots should have did more? Yeah, I think I would have liked him to stop him, but we cannot confuse not stopping somebody with not beating somebody convincingly. I don't think anybody had him losing to Karen. So, but at the same time, he's been calling out Bud. So he's kind of in the same position as David Benavidez, right? David Benavidez, when it comes to Canelo, if he doesn't look good against Alexander Vazdik, right? Who's a champion, you know, but we don't care about champions, you know what I'm saying? We don't care about champions, you know, it's just some arbitrary way of whatever narrative we try to kick, you know, Vazdik is not a good fighter because, you know, being a champion doesn't mean you're good, right? You know, right, angry Mexican. So being a champion, it doesn't mean you're good, right? So, okay, so Alexander Vazdik, who I think is good because he's a former champion, David Benavidez fought him in his debut at 175 and he beat him. It was a close fight, but he won. So people aren't going to be as impressed because he didn't win as in dominant fashion as we anticipate or we're accustomed to seeing at 168. But it was a new division, so I thought that one was good because Alexander Vazdik beat Adonis Stevenson, you know, and actually hurt him and gave him chronic brain damage. Unfortunately, he was still suffering right now from his loss. So lost to Alexander Vazdik. So I think that was a great win. But naturally, we're not going to be impressed if you don't do it in dominant fashion because we're like, hey, there's no way that you could be calling out Canelo if you can't even definitively beat Vazdik. But like I said, Vazdik, he was moving up, so that's impressive. I mean, Benavidez was moving up to fight Vazdik, but we're still going to compare every performance that he has to a performance of him potentially or maybe in our imagination fighting Canelo. And same with Boots, right? So Boots has been calling out Bud. And every guy that he fights, if he doesn't look super impressive, then we're gonna say, "Oh, well, this guy doesn't belong with Bud." But in reality, you could look good and stand alone. So yes, David Benavidez didn't look as great as we anticipated against Vazic, but he still looked good enough, and I still think he's a great fighter. I think Canelo beats him, but I think that's still a good fight that he deserves. You know, I would love to see that fight. I'm not one of those that because I like somebody, I make things up. You see how that works? I think Canelo's good. I think Canelo's better than Benavidez. I think Canelo beats Benavidez. But I still could acknowledge that Benavidez is also a great fighter, and he deserves an opportunity to fight Canelo. I don't have to diminish David Benavidez because I like Canelo, unlike some people who are diminishing others because they like Bam. Excuse me, my bad. But anyway, but yeah, so David Benavidez, I think he deserves a Canelo fight. I think that Canelo beats him, but I think he deserves it. Now, that's the part that differs between Boots and Bud, in my opinion. Boots, in my opinion, no disrespect to him, but I don't think he deserves a Bud fight. Number one, they're not in the same division anymore. You know what I'm saying? Bud was undisputed at 147 and he moved up. If you want to fight Bud for real, then you should move up and try to pursue that. But if you're not going to do that, then you just handle your business in your domain. You know what I'm saying? You campaign in your division and do your thing, you know? And so he's been doing that now. He's like, hey, man, I want to try to go for undisputed or at least unified. And he fought Karen, not for it wasn't his fault. But he fought Karen again because the IBF mandated it, or else he had to vacate his belt. You don't want to do that, right? So shout out to Boots for fighting Karen again. But he didn't look super impressive. However, I think people that don't think it was an impressive win, I think they have to relax a little bit because I don't think that they're crediting Karen Chukazan for being a formidable fighter. He's a good fighter. Just because you haven't heard of him, just because you don't respect him doesn't mean that he's not good. Or just because you don't like him doesn't mean that he's not good. Karen is good. I think that he'll be a tough fight for any of the champions at 147, whether it's Barrios, Stanionis, Brian Norman, or Boots. You know, and sometimes stylistically, you have somebody who just is a challenge, right? So I bring up Floyd Mayweather, who I think is a great, right? I think Floyd Mayweather is a GOAT. But I brought this up yesterday. You know, Floyd Mayweather fought Marcos Maidana, right? And Marcos Maidana is a good fighter. You know, I don't think he's an all-time great. I don't think anybody thinks Maidana's all-time great, but he's definitely a good fighter. Floyd Mayweather and Marcos Maidana fought twice. One was a majority decision in favor of Floyd. The other one was a unanimous decision in favor of Floyd. And the unanimous decision, the rematch, was won by a wider margin by Floyd, just like Boots beat Karen by a wider margin in the second fight. And their numbers were by the judges were similar. No one would think that Maidana beat Floyd, just like no one thinks that Karen beat Boots. So what I'm saying is that we don't have to knock Floyd because he didn't blow Maidana out the water. Sometimes stylistically a guy is just good for you, and I think that's what it is for Karen. But what Boots messes up because Boots called Karen a bottom tier fighter, and I don't think Karen's a bottom tier fighter. And he could have just been talking. You know, he did take some accountability, which I like. He's like, hey, I got to do better in this regard. I got to improve in this regard. But when you say things like, oh, I need to fight good fighters or high caliber fighters in order for you to see the best of me, then you kind of digging yourself in the hole and kind of feeding into what people are saying. Is like, you shouldn't be struggling against a bottom tier fighter, and I think you're too good to struggle against a bottom tier fighter. But I don't think Karen's a bottom tier fighter. But if you're going to call him that, then you need to perform better, you know. So I think he's kind of hurting himself with that. But other than that, man, I think the Karen win was great. He dropped Karen in the 5th round. I think it was great. Do I think Karen belongs on the pound for pound list? No. Do I think Boots belongs on the pound for pound list? No. But I think he has all the ingredients to be a pound for pound fighter. He's just missing the key ingredient. That key ingredient is the high level opposition, and that's not his fault. You know, it's not his fault that he doesn't have 45-year-old legends with 55 wins and 18 losses that he could beat on, and people think he's great. It's not his fault that Chocolatito's not a 147 pounder. It's not his fault that Pacquiao doesn't come out of retirement and fights Boots. It's not his fault. You know what I'm talking about? You know, all of us aren't able to fight a 55-year-old legend with 13 losses, and people think we're great because we're the first person to knock him out in the last 2 years. Fuck out of here. So if Boots could fight the Chocolatito, yeah, he'll be good too. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe he could go holla at Pacquiao. You know, I heard Pacquiao wants to come back. Maybe he could bring Pacquiao out of retirement and still keep him in his senator uniform for the Philippines and beat the hell out of him. Oh man. But yeah, I'm just trolling y'all though, man. I'm just trolling with that though. But shout out to Angry Mexican and Mansa Musa, man. But yeah, I think that now another problem was, let me see what Angry Man, he said Bozy corner advice after round 2 was get him out of here, man. Yeah, I ain't like that advice. That puts more pressure on Boots to get the stoppage in front of the home crowd. You start pressure. I agree. So that's a very good point. Now, the only part I disagree with Angry Mexican, and I'm not trying to be a contrarian to you, because I think that's a very great point. If you're going to critique anything, I think Boots Ennis, his corner advice is something you could point at, right? However, I do want to emphasize this, and I know it might sound like a reach, but if you play sports or done anything, it doesn't have to be sports. If you have a family, if you have dogs, like, can't you communicate without words? Or if you're in a relationship, whatever, or friendships, anything, right? So, but let's keep it in the realm of sports, right? When I'm playing basketball, right, and I run a play, and I say, and the play is for Oscar to set me a screen, my guy Ryan to go to the corner and spread out, Smoochie's gonna cut to the basket. I don't say, oh, Oscar set the screen, Smoochie cut to the basket, Ryan hit the corner. I don't say that. You know what I'll say? I'll probably say Steph Curry. Some people be like, what the heck is Steph Curry? I don't know what Steph Curry is, but that might be that set play. So what I'm saying is, I know it's boxing, I know it's different, but what if get him out of here, or what if go get him is a play for them? And you know what I'm saying? What if it's a sequence? Like, let's keep it boxing. What if it's a boxing sequence? What if it's a way to tell him to cut off the ring, put him in the corner, and throw body shots? I know that sounds far fetched to the person who doesn't play sports, but Ryan plays sports. He knows what I'm saying. If you play football, and I gave this example yesterday. If I play football and you're watching Peyton Manning quarterback, and you're watching Marvin Harrison as a wide receiver, you're watching Edgerrin James as a running back, and they say blue 32, you gonna hear that like, what the heck is a blue 32? Well, why are we talking about colors and counting numbers? Oh, Dub knows. Thank you, Dub. It's not far-fetched. Thank you, Dub. So if I say blue 32, to me it might not mean nothing. To Dub, it might mean run a post route. To Smoochie, it might mean run a screen. To Ryan, it may mean run a fly route. So I know get him out of here sounds very simple. I'm not saying this is the case, but we gotta act like, we gotta acknowledge that we don't know what's going on all the time, bro. I know we see it on TV and we think that's it, but bro, they're a father and a son. Bro, if I look at my dogs a certain way, they're gonna react a certain way to me. I don't even have to speak, and they're dogs. They're quote unquote dumb animals. If I look at my dogs, they know what they know whatever they know. I could look at them and they'll know if I want to play. I could look at them, they'll know if I want to, if I'm telling them to stop what they're doing. So if mere dogs couldn't understand communication without me talking, why do you think that they needed to make like they put in work in the gym? They're a father and a son, and a trainer and a boxer. You don't know what these words mean. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna break down everything. And let's just say he did say go get him, and let's just say just take it for what it is. Go get him. They've been working for 12 weeks. What if Boots Ennis feels like, hey man, I gave you all the tutelage you need. Now you just need to execute it. You know what I'm saying? We implemented all the proper training regimens, all the proper preparation. We implemented that in training camp. We finding this guy again. You know what to do. Doesn't every good parent know when to let go? Am I making this up? Doesn't every good parent try to give you direction and then, hope that you will remember that when you go out into the world? So now it's time to perform. This is not time to practice. So I'm not saying you can't give instruction. You should, because sometimes you will be in adversity and you may see something that you didn't account for, and you have to adapt, and hopefully your trainer will be able to point that out and tell you what to do. But every situation is not like that. And if you hear Boots Ennis after the fight, what did he say? He said Boots wasn't following the game plan. He was frustrated again. He was just headhunting again. So as much as we're frustrated with Bootsy, even Boots took accountability of that. He said that Bootsy was telling me the right things in the corner. I don't know if he's capping. I don't know. I'm sure I don't know. But that's what he said. He said that Bootsy was telling the right thing in the corner. He just wasn't following his instructions. That's what he said in the post-fight interview, in the press conference. I know a lot of people don't watch it, but I do. I do. You don't have to believe it. Go look at it yourself. So that doesn't mean that just because he said it means he's telling the truth. But, there's stuff like that we have to consider, man. You just never know, bro. I'm a posterized angel. What Angry Mexican do? I appreciate it, Dub. From Boots' reaction, he stayed in the pocket with the guy. Facts, Ramon. Boots could have boxed more. I agree. But he still wanted to. Let me show you the scorecards, Ramon. Let me show you the scorecard so you don't think I'm just trying to like I said, me and Smoochie would get into it about Boots. I'm not a big Boots fan, but I'm not a liar either. Like, I'm not that type of person, man. I don't make up things to help my argument or to down somebody or to raise them up. I just tell you what it is. Some people will like it because I'm telling the truth, but when I'm telling the truth about their favorite fighter, they feel like I'm coming at them. I don't, like, again, Angry Mac, not to revisit this, but I'm going to, and Mansa Musa. I think Bam is a great fighter, but let him get the accomplishments. Like, even with Mansa Musa's a reaction to me saying, he said, I'm boosting up Tank too much. How am I boosting up Tank? I never said that Tank is a top 5 pound for pound. But I'm also not going to say Bam is a top 5 pound for pound. But he pointed out Tank because I'm showing you the similarities of how you would discredit somebody or not give somebody the same credit that you're giving somebody else for doing for accomplishing lesser things or the same thing. Like, just keep it, let's keep it real. Like, right here, let me make it bigger for you. Pause. Hey, yo. Hold on now. Make it bigger for you is crazy. That's a pause. No Diddy. Hey, yo. My boy Just Do, we back at it again, bro. I want to show you because you think I'm capping. Look at this. Look at this, Angry Mexican. Bro, he won 119 to 107, 117 to 109, 116 to 110. That's not scorecards of somebody struggling. Now, like I said, it's a very fair assessment to say that Boots didn't do enough from our perspective because we expect greatness. Yes, but at the same time, how could we act like this man didn't damn near wash him, and he dropped him in the 5th round? So can we tell the whole story or not? Can we tell the whole story? And Karen's a good fighter, you know what I'm saying? So I think that when you could argue that Karen is the best opponent that he's faced. So when you say things like Bozy, his instruction wasn't good, I agree with you. It didn't seem like it's good on the surface, but at the same time, I don't know what these things mean, because me and my homeboy that I met in college, we ran plays playing street ball in the park. We never played organized ball together. He could run to a certain part of the court and do a little eye motion or head motion. I know exactly what he's telling me to do. And we just met each other in college. I'm talking about back in the day in the dorms and stuff like that. That's just because you pick up things when you work with somebody. So yes, his instructions in the corner didn't seem that elaborate, but I don't want to disregard the fact that they are accustomed with each other, not just from a fighter trainer, but even from a father and son. And I don't know exactly what these things mean, because I have played sports before and I have ran plays before. And like, even if you want to keep it in boxing context, my guy, like Ryan, you boxed. Just Do, you've been watching boxing. Mansa Musa, Ramon, Oscar, Dub especially. If I say 1, 2, 3, what does that mean? As a boxer, what does 1, 2, 3 mean? I'm gonna wait till somebody answer. Said Bam is number 6 pound for pound. I would have him at 5. It better be if didn't win undisputed. I'm not mad at that, but I disagree. Not sure I missed it, but how do we feel like Boots is ready for the top dogs at 154? What up, Ryan? Nah, I don't think he's not ready, but I think 154 is hot, and I think that he'll mix it up. I think he'll be a great addition, but I don't think anybody, including Bud, just dominates 154. It's too hot. You know, as great as Bud is, I think you have to give him the chance of being the slight favorite. But what if Jermell Charlo comes back? He was actually the king at 154. He was literally undisputed. We have Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu could bounce back. Look what Bakram just did to Tim Tszyu with one hand, because he hurt it. He broke his knuckle in his pinky. That severely handicaps you, and he still got rid of Tim Tszyu in 3 rounds. I didn't think anybody on earth could get rid of Tim Tszyu in 3 rounds. You know what I'm saying? So, like, 154 is hot. That's not even to mention Sebastian Fedora. What if Spence comes back and does good? Jesus Ramos is still a beast there. Virgil Ortiz is there. Xander Zayas is coming up. Charles Conwell's coming up. Jonas Tellis is doing his thing, you know, coming up. Erickson Hammer Lubin's still there. You know, Brian Mendoza, Serhii Boachuk, Israel Madrimov. Like, 154 is too hot. I don't think anybody dominates. Jab, back. Come on now. 1, 2, 3. Jab, straight, hook. That's it. If I say 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the mall, Dub, what they gonna say, Dub? They gonna say, why you counting? You doing ABCs and 1, 2, 3s? ABC is easy as 1, 2, 3. They gonna think I'm doing a Michael Jackson rendition. You see what I'm saying? But 1, 2, 3, if you're in boxing, it means jab, straight, hook. That's what it means. So what I'm saying is that when you have somebody that's training with you, or if you play sports or anything organized, whatever, like me and my girl, we had code words for certain things. This is I remember back in the day, I probably shouldn't say this, but this is a chick I was talking to, man. black and Asian chick. If I said I want some apple juice, you know what that means. We about to go get it in, you know what I'm saying? But nobody knew that. But me and her knew that. If I said apple juice, that didn't mean I was thirsty. Well, I was thirsty for something else. As there's a God above, I promise you. So I'm saying that sometimes you have code words. Maybe go get them isn't just go out there and headhunt. I'm saying it probably is on the surface. That's what it looks like. I'm not saying that you're wrong. But I'm saying that is a possibility. Go get them could mean, and Ty, who's been part of that gym, he confirmed that. You know what I'm saying? Could he be wrong? Yeah, but I mean, I believe him. He doesn't. He's not really a liar. I feel people was expecting the slow motion to drop in his hands and leap into the punch, but you could not do that against foot. Exactly, Oscar. So I think that we need to. I think that we need to also be aware and acknowledge our expectations too, because it's one thing to say somebody didn't look good, and it's another thing to somebody to say he didn't look as good as I expected. Those are two different things. There's no way Boots didn't look good against Karen. He didn't look as good as you expected because you expected him to go slow-mo and do the Matrix. You expected him to put his hands behind his back and showboat and taunt. You expected him to knock him out. But there's a whole lot of good boxing to be had in between all those things and not doing any of those things. You don't have to showboat to look good. You don't have to taunt to look good. You don't have to slow-mo to look good. You don't have to knock out somebody to look good. You could drop him in the 5th round and win convincingly on every scorecard and still look good. That's my main point right there. What Oscar just said. He said, "Drop your list, bro. I gotta which 4 guys ahead of Bam. I gotta know which 4 guys ahead of Bam. I feel people excited. Y'all know I feel about Bam. Oscar, that's my guy. Usyk anyway. Better be a Bud. Bam. Canelo is my top 6. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Y'all be so disrespectful to my boy Cinnamon. Where you at, Angry Max? Come here, bro. Come here. I gotta talk. Let me talk to you for a second, Cinnamon. Cinnamon want to talk to you.
Eso, sí. Tú vas a mamar el bicho. Tú vas a mamar
Let me talk to you real quick. They could mean the exact facts, Ramon. Thank you, Ramon. Facts. They could be the exact opposite of go get him. Go get him could be sit back and let him come to him. That's what it could mean.
Yeah.
You don't know. We don't know, bro. We like code words aren't. They're not. Code words aren't foreign or far-fetched, bro. This man said, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I'm sorry, angry Mexican, but you just made me mad. You an angry Mexican, I'm an angry black man. You ain't no way. Ain't there, bro. Ryan, I'm gonna give Ryan a pass because Ryan be wild. That's my guy. I'm gonna give Ryan. I'm not giving you a pass, angry Mexican. I'm giving Ryan a pass because Ryan, he's a beast, man. You know what I'm saying? But you, come on, bro. I gotta give Ryan a pass because Ryan like Bam. I know he likes Bam. But I like Junto Nakatani. I'm not putting Junto Nakatani over Canelo, bro. How? Bam about to be up. About. You see? No. The emphasis about. How about let him get unified? He's not even unified. I don't care what he's about to do. I'm talking about what he did. How can you put him over somebody who did? Based off what he's doing or going to. He's not even doing it. He's going to do it according to us. According to you, according to me too. I think that Bam would be undisputed. I think he's capable of being undisputed. Fighting Chocolatito does not get you unified. Damn sure don't get you undisputed. Fighting Chocolatito does none of that. Fighting Chocolatito for me, I know y'all gonna be mad, beating Chocolatito does nothing for Bam Rodriguez as far as his stature or raising his rank or his profile as far as pound for pound goes. It does something for his popularity and his brand and his profile as far as marketability. It does nothing to boost him up in the rankings. And it only does that for people who are ridiculous. Because the same, and this is why I bring up Loma, I'm gonna bring up Loma and Tank again. The same people like you, my friend Ryan, if Tank beats Loma, you're gonna say Loma was old. Loma is younger than Chocolatito, and he has almost triple the fights. He has almost 3 times less fights than Chocolatito. Lomachenko is 18-3. That means he has 21 fights, and he's 36 years old. Chocolatito is 37, older, and he has 58 fights. Way more fights, almost 3 times. Come on, bro. There's no way you cannot be impressed with Tank or Shakur beating Lomachenko potentially, but you are okay and prepared to be impressed by Bam Rodriguez beating Chocolatito. Meanwhile, There's 2 other undefeated champions in his division, and you telling me he about to be undisputed? He's not even the best in his division. Not by accomplishments, he's not. That would be Fernando Martinez. Fernando Martinez is an undisputed champion, and he had 2 belts until he just vacated to fight Kazuto Ioka in the rematch. So if you really want to if you want to go by the actual grading rubric that you apply to Tank, and that you apply to Canelo, and that you apply to Shakur, and that you apply to other fighters like Caleb Plant, Tyson Fury, Usyk, Inoue, all these other fighters that aren't Bam Rodriguez, if you want to grade them by the same scale, if you're not unified, how can you be the best in your division? And if somebody else is unified, how can you say that he's the best in the division? Fernando Puma Martinez is undefeated, and he was unified. So how the hell could Bam Rodriguez, who's not unified, be considered better than Puma Martinez? Unless you don't care about accolades. Suddenly, we don't care about accolades. You know, being unified don't matter. So then Boots don't matter. Then Boots don't have to unify, right, Smoochie? Nah, Boots don't got to unify. Boots ain't even got to be. He ain't got to do nothing. He ain't got to be undisputed. He ain't got to unify nothing. He ain't got to do nothing, bro. Thank you, Jeffrey. Big facts, Jeffrey. Shout out to my boy Jeffrey. You feel me? You feel me? You feel me? Come on, man. Bro, let's be fair, man. Let's be fair, bro. Let's be fair, man. And it's completely unfair to say that Bam. I think Bam. I'm gonna tell you right now. I think Bam beats Puma Martinez. I think Bam beats Fuma Lady Cafu. But he has to do it. It's not good enough for me to think. We have to see it, because guess what? Upsets happen in boxing all the time. So how can you just springboard Bam Rodriguez? I'm not saying he's not good or unaccomplished. I think that he's good and accomplished. He's not as accomplished as Canelo. Canelo fought Floyd Mayweather, Hall of Famer, all-time great. Canelo fought Sugar Shane Mosley, Hall of Famer, all-time great. Miguel Cotto, Hall of Famer, all-time great. Triple G, Hall of Famer, all-time great. Like, what are we doing, bro? He was undisputed, the first ever 168. He was a light heavyweight champion, beating Kovalev. What are we doing, bro? Like, come on, bro. You about to make me mad. Loma turns 37 in February, but you're right. Thank you, George. Shout out to my boy George. George came in here dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
Shout out to my boy George, the last patriot, man, dropping some love in the chat, man. Graffiti on the chat walls. I appreciate it. Did I say he's 37? I meant to say Roman Chocolatito's 37, and I think I said Loma's 36. Yeah. If I made a mistake, my bad. I meant to say Roman Chocolatito is 37 with 58 fights or 56 fights, and Lomachenko is 36 with 21 fights. So I know I talk fast sometimes, but so I can make a mistake. So I appreciate that. Shout out to my guy George again, man. Appreciate you, bro. George, the last patriot in the building. Speaking of patriotism again, man. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the veterans. Speaking of a veteran, Cito, my guy in the building. I gave my handyman to do this, but he only did jobs 1, 3, and 5. Turns out he only does get out. Nah. Someone get him out of here. Someone get him out of here, bro. Someone get Cito out of here, please. Give him at least 2 minutes. Get him out of here, man. He ain't in mine. He's not in my top 10 either. Tanking like everyone's top pound for pound. He ain't never unified at 30 years old. We got time. That is true. Okay, so Ryan, that is true. I agree. Tank is in my top 10. He's not in my top 5. Not even close. But what I will say this is, I'm not saying that you have to unify to be in top 10 or top 5. I'm saying that if other people have, how can you put him over them? That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, so what do we prioritize here, bro? I'm glad Abdullah Mason was. Yes, that was a great fight. I think Abdullah Mason versus Johan Vasquez, who I think is a good fighter. People slept on him. People acted like that's bad to get dropped by him. No, he's a power puncher. That might have been the round of the year. But I want to say this, Ryan. I want you to think about this, bro. What? Matter of fact, no. I want to ask Dub, because Dub been here with me, man. Shout out to my boy Dub. I can't trust the rest of you. I can trust Dub and Oscar. I can trust Dub. I can't trust Angry Mexican. I can't trust Cito. I can't trust Ryan. I love Ryan. I can't trust you, bro. I can't trust Mansa Musa. Okay. Look. You see what Mansa Musa just said? Tank has to unify. Tank just tried to unify with Lomachenko. Once again, it's not Tank's fault or Boots' fault that they don't have legends lining up to out of the retirement home to get put right back in that motherfucker. It's not Tank's fault, bro. Fernando Martinez wants to unify against Bam. Bam doesn't want to. But you're okay with that, right? I literally, go check out the last video I made, or 2 videos ago. I literally showed you Puma Martinez called out Bam Rodriguez again. Not the first time, he did it again. Bam doesn't want to fight him. I'm not saying Bam's scared. I don't think Bam is scared. Once again, I think Bam beats Puma Martinez. But the fact still remains, he has other champions willing to fight him. He's not fighting him. He wants to go fight Chocolatito. Or let me rephrase that. Not Bam. Eddie Hearn wants. I guarantee he's gonna fight Chocolatito. This is what I'm saying. He's not gonna fight Fumulady Cafu, who just beat Kosei Tanaka. He's gonna go. Who's an undefeated champ? He's gonna go fight Chocolatito because he's the easier fight and he makes more money. But if other fighters do that, then you want to question them. You just said Tank has to unify, but you told me that Bam, who's not unified, is above Canelo. You see the hypocrisy. I'm about to get mad, bro. I'm about to get mad, bro. Y'all. I need some water, cause y'all about to raise my stress levels. Oh, man. So let me get this straight. Oh, so you want Tank? You want Tank, who wasn't in the same division as Lomachenko, because people say he should have fought him 6 years ago. 6 years ago, look it up. I'm not gonna do it for you. You do your homework assignment. 6 years ago, that's what people say, right? That's what you're talking. That's what you're referring to, right? 6 years ago, right? Okay, so 6 years ago, Tank and Loma. Show me a period where Tank and Loma, outside of COVID, were in the same weight division. Show me, because that's what people just say. That's what people say. People just say that whimsically because they heard somebody else say it, so they regurgitate it and think it's right. And you go actually do your research, bro. Tell me 6 years ago when Tank and Loma were in the same division. Because remember, Tank was fluctuating, right? He was going, you know, he went to 140 and fought Barrios. He went to 135, went to 130. You know what I'm saying? He was bouncing around a little bit. 6 years ago, Lomachenko was fighting Rigondeaux. Ooh, by the way, was 38. I can't make this up. Ryan, I can't make this up, Ryan. I can't make it up. Angry Mexican, I can't make this up, bro. I can't make this. You see what y'all do? You're saying that Tank should have fought Loma years ago, but he's willing to fight him now. Loma's 36 years old. 6 years ago, Loma was beating a 38-year-old Guillermo Rigondeaux. No one said he was old. But a younger Lomachenko is old. If Tank, there's no guarantee that Lomachenko beats Tank. People are just saying that excuse if Tank beats him to discredit him. Bro, Lomachenko could beat Tank. Lomachenko could also beat Shakur. But my question is, how could you not be impressed no matter how it goes? But then you're impressed. I can't, bro. I can't, bro. Bam is only 24. He has done more than Tank, who is 30. I agree that Bam is 24. He's done more than Tank at 24. I don't think that he's done more than Tank right now. No, I disagree with that 1,000%. 1,000%. I think that you're giving him more credit for doing stuff because, like I said, you don't even think Pitbull's good. Like, I'm not saying Pitbull's the best, but you cannot tell me that Pitbull is not good, but then tell me you're impressed with Pedro Guevara. Like I said, I guarantee you, Angry Mexican, if I asked you before Saturday, if I said, hey, Angry Mexican, who is Pedro Guevara? You would say,
who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that? You know damn well who I am. Who the fuck is that?
Even Sonny Edwards, I guarantee you, before Sonny Edwards fought Bam Rodriguez, if I said, who's Sonny Edwards, you would say,
who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that? You know damn well who I am. Who the fuck is that?
Oh, but because Bam Rodriguez fought him, he's great. He's a great win. Freak out of here, bro. Only thing I say is Rigo was undefeated going into the Loma fight. Oh, so you care about being undefeated. So Jose Pedraza wasn't undefeated going into the Tank fight? Gotcha. Bro, I'm good at, bro, Angry Mexican, I'm too good, bro. I'm too good, bro. You can't, bro. You know who else was undefeated? There's a champion right now at 147 that was undefeated going into the Tank fight. Mario Barrios. But let me guess, he's a C-level fighter, right? Right. Right. Because we care about being undefeated now, right? Right. I can't do this, bro. I can't do this, bro. Oh, nah, Canelo is above Bam on my list. I'm a Canelo fan, low-key. Okay. D. Looney, talk about Pitbull. Do you think him and Nick Ball could ever happen? How do you think it go? I think Pitbull's too big for Nick Ball. But if it did happen, Looney, I think that's a good matchup stylistically because they're kind of similar, right? But I would have Pitbull. I think Pitbull's too big for Nick Ball. I knew Sonny, but not Guerrero. Okay, I believe you. Sonny, he's a big fight. He was pretty well known in England and stuff. He has a pretty big backer, so I believe you. I mean, I believe you if you just said you knew Guevara too. I just be talking, spitballing. Don't take it personally, bro. I apologize if I get passionate and excited, bro. Tank Davis has accomplished a lot of good fights. He has fought some great champ. Thank you, Cito. I do question a lot of his realization clauses, but outside of that, he's a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter, like for. But that's the thing. I'm not even comparing Tank versus. They're making the Tank and Bam Rodriguez comparison. I'm just saying that Bam. If you're gonna put Bam at number 4, then there's a lot of people that need to be number 1, 2, and 3. You know what I'm saying? They got to be 1A, 1B. You know what I'm talking about? There's no way that Bam is above. In a way, Usyk, Bud, Canelo, Beterbiev, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't think you could put him over Tank. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think you could put him over Bivol either. I don't think you could put him over Tyson Fury either. I don't think you could put him over Daniel Dubois either. I don't think you could put him over David Benavidez either. I don't think you could put. Bro, I'm just telling you. I don't think you could put him over Shakur either. I don't think you could put him over Devin Haney either. I don't think you could put him over Teofimo either. I'm just saying. I know that sounds like a hot take, but if you go off of accomplishments and who they're fighting and when they're fighting them, because that matters too, because that's what we say about other people, right? That's why Mansa Musa brought up Tank not fighting Loma, because it matters who you fight and when you fight them. If you talk about when he's fought Carlos Quadras is a great fighter. He wasn't great when Bam beat him. If you talk about Juan Francisco Estrada, El Gallo, the Rooster, he's a great fighter. He wasn't great when Bam beat him. If you want to talk about Pedro Guevara, he's a former champion. He lost 4 times before Bam beat him. You notice when he beat Pedro Guevara, what did they say? They didn't say, oh, he's the first person to beat him. They say he's the first person to knock him out. Whenever they make distinctions like that, you know they're trying to hide something. Case in point, when Naoya Inoue was fighting TJ Doheny, they called him the Japanese assassin. And they said that he was 3-0 in his last 3 fights in Japan. But they didn't mention that he was 4-3 in his last 7 fights altogether, because they were trying to pitch TJ Doheny as a believable opponent for Naoya Inoue. That shit was trash. They had to say that he's undefeated in a certain area. Bro, that's not crazy? Is that not crazy, bro? But y'all fell for it. Because you don't do your due diligence, man. But that's why I'm here. I'll do it for you. Don't worry. I got you. I promise I got you. Come on, bro. Bam is overhyped. Thank you. And I think that's the thing, Yogi Meister. I think Bam is going to be great. Let him be great, bro. Let him go through the natural progression of being great. Don't let him skip steps. Because you know what? Because when Mansa Musa, we going to skip steps, Mansa Musa. And we going to skip steps, Angry Mexican. And when we skip steps and we put Bam Rodriguez in there with Juto Nakatani, and Juto Nakatani knocks his block off, I don't want to hear that he was overhyped. Because that's what you're setting him up for failure. Because if Bam Rodriguez goes ahead and fights Naoya Inoue, and Naoya Inoue decapitates the young man, you're going to be like, oh, well, the people that he beat were all old. That's when you're going to come to the realization that what Doctor was saying, he wasn't capping. I'm not. It sounds like hate because you want to just make people graduate without taking the classes. You can't graduate from high school without going through 9th grade, brother. You got to go through 10th grade. You got to take algebra 1. Or else you ain't getting that diploma. We ain't skipping steps, baby. And even if you graduate early, it's because you still satisfy the criteria. It's not because you skip steps and we think that you're great. No, you still gotta pass some classes. You still gotta unify, homeboy. You still gotta clean out your division, homeboy. Before I put you above people that have done the same thing. I'm just saying. Yes, Clobber Time. The last Gallo is great. He wasn't as great when Bam Rodriguez fought. Okay, let me put it like this. Gallo is not the same Gallo that fought Chocolatito, bro. I'm not saying he's not good. Don't hear me. I'm not saying he's not good. He's not great. Okay, so let me ask you something. Okay, no, forget it. Clobber Time, forget that. Let's go to Inoue. Was Nonito Donaire great when Inoue fought him? Or did Inoue just look? I mean, did the Filipino Flash just have a sensational performance the first time? Was he still great? Was that the same Filipino Flash that was making people quit? Come on, bro. Timing matters, bro. Timing matters, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, man. He only fights dudes that are over. Thank you. Thank you. And when you're in the smaller weight divisions, when you're in your mid-30s to late 30s, you are significantly older than, let's say, a 37-year-old Alexander Usyk in the heavyweight division. If you really watch, bro, Bam Rodriguez didn't fight anybody with less than 40 fights. I'm not lying, bro. Go look it up. Carlos Cuadras had over 40 fights. Juan Francisco Estrada had over 40 fights. Roman Gonzalez has 50-something fights, who he's about to fight. Pedro Guevara has 40 fights, bro. Like, come on, bro. 35 or 40-something fights and 4 losses. Get the freak out of here. You're impressed with that? Freak out of here, man. But you're not impressed with Tank beating Santa Cruz? Why not? Tank was the first person to stop Santa Cruz, if that's the criteria we're going on. If we're going on, oh, he's great because he's the first person to stop him. Well, Tank was the first person to stop Mario Barrios, first person to stop Jose Sniper Pedraza, first person to stop Frank the Ghost Martin, first person to stop Leo Santa Cruz. I could keep going. Like, let's be fair, bro. No, they said Boots up for failure. Bam fought legit guys. Boots has not. I agree with that too. Yeah. You see what you just did? You thought I was going to disagree with that, man, Samusa. I agree. They're setting up Boots for failure too. Yes. But guess what? No one's putting Boots above Canelo on their pound for pound list like you. So, no, they're setting up Bam for more failure. Because nobody has Boots undeservedly on the pound for pound list. Above Canelo and Beterbiev like you. So you can say, yeah, I agree with you. They're setting up Boots as well. You thought I was going to disagree. No, I agree with that. 1,000%. I think Boots, I've already said that multiple times. I'll say it again. Boots is lacking the key ingredient of a good, high quality opponent. I think he has all the other ingredients to be a pound for pound great. Same with Bam Rodriguez. Bam Rodriguez has all the ingredients to be a pound for pound great. He's just lacking a good, high quality opponent that isn't old. Like, come on, bro. You gonna give him credit for being Roman Gonzalez, bro. I'm gonna pray for Roman. I'm gonna pray for Chocolatito. I give take credit for being. Shout out to you, Angry Mexican. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. You're one of the few. Bro. You know what's crazy, Angry Mexican? I think Robert Garcia is a phenomenal trainer. I think he's one of the best. I think it's Robert Garcia, Calvin Ford, and Bomac. I think those are like the 3 best trainers. I know I'm missing some people. No disrespect to Ronnie Shields and Eddie Reynoso and all the other good trainers too, and Panda, was Williams and Zepeda. But I think the best 3 for me is Calvin Ford, Bomac, and Robert Garcia. And I would even put because of the quantity and quality of their fighters in their stable, I would put Robert Garcia and Bomac above Calvin Ford. Just because they have their hands on more fighters. But with that being said, Robert Garcia said Tank fought nobody. He said he keeps fighting nobodies. Now, I know he's just talking to, boost up. I think he wants to fight between Rayo and Tank potentially. But, even though he shot it down, I think he wants that in the future. So he's trying to coerce him into picking Rayo. I get it. But to say he fought nobodies, I guarantee you he wouldn't tell Mario Barrios in his face that he's a nobody. Because I don't think he thinks that. But that's how people are they're so readily disrespectful and so quick to denounce and disregard Tank's opponents for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I've never heard Leo Santa Cruz called a nobody until he lost to Tank. I mean, the only time I hear people consider Leo Santa Cruz a nobody is when they're bringing up Tank's resume. The only time I hear Jose put Sniper Pedraza considered a nobody when they bring up Tank's resume. You know how I know that's true? When Keyshawn Davis beat Jose Sniper Pedraza, who Tank beat 6 years ago. They said that's a good win for Keyshawn. But an undefeated champion in Sniper Pedraza wasn't a great win for Tank. But it's a good win for a young up-and-coming Keyshawn. Why is that, bro? Like, why do we discredit certain fighters and we over-credit other fighters? Mario Barrios, we just gave Bam Rodriguez credit for beating Pedro Guevara because he stopped him. He was the first to stop him. He gave him his 5th loss. Well, Tank was the first to stop Leo Santa Cruz, and that was only his 2nd loss. And his first loss, Leo Santa Cruz avenged against Carl Frampton. He lost a decision to Carl Frampton, then he went back and avenged it. So you could kind of look at Leo Santa Cruz as undefeated, essentially, because he beat everybody he stepped in the ring with until he fought Tank. And Tank was the first to stop him. Since we're giving people credit for being the first to stop him, he was the first to stop and beat Leo Santa Cruz, first to stop and beat Jose Sniper Pedraza, first to stop and beat Frank the Ghost Martin, first to stop and beat Mario Barrios, who's a champion right now at 147. He beat Isaac Cruz, who went on and became a champion at 140, but you don't care about that, though. You don't care about that, though. I don't know, man. Talk to him, Clobber Time. Talk to him, Clobber Time. He was what? Pound for pound when Tank beat him?
Yeah.
Bam Bam is an amazing fighter. He looks great. He looks great against lesser opposition. Right. No one's discrediting Bam. I'm not discrediting Bam. I'm saying let's give everybody else the same credit that we give Bam Rodriguez. And if you do that, then you will realize that if we're going to give him number 4 on pound for pound, then we got to give a whole lot of other fighters number 4 on pound for pound. Let me see. My boy Borzoi said, Jerron, dude is his own failure. Ain't accept Connor or try facing Virgil. Only chase chair. I agree with that. I agree with that. That's a fair assessment. That's a fair assessment. But at the same time, you called him a failure. He's a champion that's undefeated with 33 wins and 29 knockouts. How is he a failure? Is he failing at doing what we expect him to do, what we believe he's capable of doing? Yeah, because he hasn't accomplished that yet. But failing is he's an undefeated guy with 33 wins and he's a champion. If that's failing, then what's winning? You know what I'm saying? What's succeeding? What you think about Paul? Oh man, I hate it, Yogameister. I hate it, man. I hate it, man. But I'm gonna watch it. Well, I ain't gonna lie, I'm undecided. I'm not sure if I'm gonna watch it yet because I'm more excited for Mario Barrios versus Abel Ramos. I'm most excited for Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor 1, right? So Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano part 2. I'm looking forward to that fight, and then also Bruce Shu Carrington. But I'm still contemplating not watching Mike Tyson to Jake Paul. I might turn it off early, but let's be realistic. I'm gonna be watching it on stream like I provide commentary for all the fights. So I highly doubt that I'm gonna cut it off with the stream on and stuff like that. So. My guy Kendrick said, why are we having a pound for pound conversation about someone who has never been undisputed? Bro, Kendrick never been unified at the division that he's at now. You know, you want to give him Sonny Edwards being unified, whatever. I'm not going, but okay. Somebody did earlier said that he beat Sonny Edwards for a unification. Yeah, okay. At 112, okay. We have 4 either former or current undisputed fighters. Case closed. Thank you, Kendrick. Thank you, Kendrick. I hate the main fight, but the undercard fight, yeah, facts. I'm with Oscar on that. Oh, but what I was gonna ask is Dub, and sometimes I can't trust Kendrick either, but I think I could trust Kendrick on this point that I'm about to make. I was about to ask. I can't even remember what I was about to ask. It was something about Bam. Cause that's the thing. Y'all making it seem like I'm shitting on Bam. No, I'm just not giving him extra credit for normal accomplishments. Yeah, it's on Friday. Yep. Bivol was still on pound for pound and never unified. Yes, you don't have to unify. But what he's saying is, how can you put him over people that unified, Angry Mexican? Like I said, I'm not saying he can't be on there because the criteria to be on pound for pound list is not unifications. But for me, the criteria to be above guys that are unified and undisputed is unifications and being undisputed. That's just fair. I want to watch Amanda versus Katie so bad. I'm from the UK, so it'll be, oh man, you got to stay up, Looney. We gonna be live, man. You say I'm not built like that. I feel you, bro. I feel, yeah, get your rest, bro. You always catch the replay. Always catch the replay, man. But Bivol, you're right. Bivol wasn't unified, but Bivol, okay. Bivol wasn't shying. I'm not saying Bam is, like I said, I think Bam beats Puma Martinez. I think Bam beats Fuma Lady Cafu, but he's not fighting them yet. We know Bivol wanted to fight Beterbiev. That's one thing I will say is the difference between Beterbiev and Bivol. The one thing between Beterbiev and Bivol, because they're very similar to Shakur, right? It's just that Shakur and Tank, but Shakur and Tank don't have all the belts. And you could argue that Tank and Shakur have not been too adamant about fighting each other. You can't argue that for Beterbiev and Bivol. They wanted to fight each other. It just didn't happen. Well, I got Bam 10 and he dog walks Puma. I think he beats 2. I'm not. See? Puro. I'm cool with that. Number 10? That's cool. Number 4 is crazy, bro. Number 10 is cool. I'm not, bro, like I said, I'm not against Bam. But when you have him top, like you cannot have him over Usyk, Inoue, Bud, Beterbiev, or Canelo. You just can't do that, bro, unless you don't value accomplishments. So this is what I was going to ask Oscar, Dub, and Kendrick, people that I could trust. I'm not sure I could trust everybody else. I want to, but I'm not sure. What are the biggest accomplishments in boxing? What are the biggest accomplishments in boxing, chat? The top 2 biggest accomplishments in boxing. I'm going to give you a hint. They both start with U's. Matter of fact, they both start with UNs. What are the 2 biggest accomplishments in boxing, chat? I want to know. What is the World Series of boxing? What is the Stanley Cup of boxing? What is the Super Bowl of boxing? I mean, there's only one right answer, but I'm going to give you 2. They both start with the letters U and N. He said, Chocolate Tito is super small in person. I was 7 row versus Chocolate versus. Oh, yeah? Let's go. Unified. Thank you, Yoga Meister. Thank you, Yoga Meister. Thank you, Yoga Meister. What's the other one? Unifying. Thank you. Undisputed. Thank you. So how can you put Bam over Canelo, who is undisputed at one? He's not undisputed anymore because he vacated, but he's still unified. So even though Canelo's not undisputed, he's unified. How can you put Bam over him? He's the first ever undisputed fighter at 168. How can you put Bam over that guy? Beterbiev is undisputed at 175. The undisputed title between Bivol and Beterbiev was against two undefeated champion fighters. How can you put a guy who's not even unified above that? How? Let's go to Usyk. I'm not going to go to Usyk, Inoue, and Bud. Bud is undisputed in 2 weight divisions. Inoue is undisputed in 2 weight divisions. Usyk is undisputed in 2 weight divisions. How can you put Bam over those guys? So those are 5 guys that it's impossible, if you value accomplishments in boxing, it's impossible to have Bam over them. Let me show you what Eddie Hearn did. Let me show you what Eddie Hearn did. Let me show you what Eddie Hearn did. Eddie Hearn, I understand it because he has Eddie Hearn has an agenda, right? These are his fighters. So I get it. Look, Eddie Hearn, number 5 is Bivol. How? Number 4 is Jesse Bam Rodriguez. How? But then you realize how? You realize that Bivol and Bam Rodriguez are on Matchroom. So that's how. Number 3 is Inoue. You see no Canelo. Number 2 is Crawford. You see no Beterbiev. Number 1 is Usyk. How? So I get it from Eddie Hearn because those are his fighters. He knows he has to put Usyk, Bud, and Inoue top 3. But 4 or 5 he felt like he could get a little freaky with and play with. So he doesn't have Beterbiev, who beat Bivol because he said he robbed him. That's how he feels. I think it was a controversial fight. I had Bivol winning 7-5, a scoreboard of 115-113 in favor of Bivol, but it was a good fight that could have went either way. Depends on your preference. I don't think it was a robbery at all. It was a great fight that exceeded expectations in my opinion, and I thought Bivol won, but I'm not mad at Beterbiev winning because he did enough to win too. It was that good of a fight. There's no way, whether you agree with it or not, we have to go with the facts. The facts is Beterbiev won. There's no way Bivol could be over him. And this guy's not even unified. Freak out of here, bro. So my question is this. My bad. So my thing is this. I understand why Eddie Hearn has done this. I don't understand why other people are doing it. If you're not Eddie Hearn, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this, bro? Eddie Hearn gets an excuse because those are his fighters. Naturally, he's gonna favor his fighters. So he has an interest in them being ranked high. Why do you? What's your interest? You a promoter? You a manager? Come on, bro. There's no way you could put him over 5 people. And I'm gonna be honest. You want to know my top 10? I know y'all about to kill me, but my top 10 is me personally is Bud, Inoue, Usyk. Sorry, Bud, Usyk, Inoue. For me, the top 3 are interchangeable. Number 4 is Cinnamon for me. Number 5 is Beterbiev for me. Number 6. Sometimes this gets a little. Sometimes I mix them up, you know. But number 6, I'm going with Tank. Number 7, I'm going with Bivol. Number 8, I'm going with David Benavidez, El Monstro. You feel me? Number 9, I'm going with. I don't know. I'm stuck between Tyson Fury and Daniel Dubois. And number 10, I'm stuck between Shakur, Devin Haney, and Teofimo. And I don't even like Teofimo, but you got to give people the credit for what they accomplished. I'm forget Teofimo. I'm gonna say number 10. That's tough. 9 and 10 is tough for me because I want to say I can make a case for Daniel Dubois. I can make a case for Tyson Fury. I can make a case for Devin Haney. I can make a case for Shakur. I can make a case for Teofimo. I can make a case for Hell. I can make a case for Errol Spence. You know, I can make a case for Junto Nakatani. I could make a case for Bam Rodriguez. But that's just my opinion. I could put Bam Rodriguez at number 10. Well, Bam Rodriguez number 10. There you go. Boom. Let's put Bam Rodriguez number 10. He said, pound for pound lists are now just to make fans bicker. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. And they always been based on opinion. Usyk is not on the list no more. Usyk is not on the list. Usyk is not. Usyk is not. Did you mean to put that? Was that a typo? Usyk is not on the list?
Bullshit! Bullshit! Bullshit, 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 bullshit!
That's amazing. That's amazing. Tennis Haney. I'm not mad at that, Kendrick. Tennis Haney. Tennis because he was cheated. It was a no contest, right? By rule, whatever your feelings are, on paper is literally a no contest. So he's still the youngest undisputed male champion in boxing history. Gabriella Fedor, shout out to her. She's the youngest overall undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. Devin Haney is the youngest male champion in the 4-belt era. You know, Dubois number 9. Yes, sir, Looney. Yep. For me, because he heavyweight. Right. I get it. I get it, Perot. I get it, but I think that's unfair. I'm gonna tell you why. Some people don't like it. Sure, gotta be a mistake. Gotta be a mistake. Now look, I get it because some people don't put heavyweights on the pound for pound list, and I disagree with that. I think you can't discredit somebody because they're big. So pound for pound, it's an attempt to normalize people's weight and opponents. It's not just about they're the biggest, so they don't count. No, but I mean, I understand people do that. They disregard it, but I think that's a mistake that people consistently make. You know, a pound for pound is exactly what it's saying. It's saying that if you are all the same size and you all had the same opponents, how did you beat them? When would you beat them? And would you beat them at skill level and stuff? It's not about, you're too big. Like, so that's just my take on it. But I'm not mad at you. However, the reason why I disagree with you 1,000% is because Usyk was undisputed at cruiserweight, so he wasn't just a heavyweight. So I think it's a severe injustice to him to just say he's a heavyweight. No, he was undisputed at cruiserweight and undisputed at heavyweight. So even if you don't count him as a heavyweight, you still got to count him as undisputed at cruiserweight. So there's no way he can't be on the pound for pound list for me. He said life not fair, but not bad. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Life's not fair. You're right about that. Life ain't fair. You're right. He a cruiserweight that moved to heavy, right? But he was a cruiserweight, right? Someone asked me what has Usyk done. I mean, what has Benavidez done? That's a good question, Yoga Meister. Now I'm gonna tell you why I put Benavidez over for me, and I'm gonna address your Bill Haney. Everybody saw him lose. Yeah, but you don't. I mean, unless you have X-ray vision, you don't see PEDs in people's system. That's why no one knows Peter Parker's Spider-Man. They don't see the insect bite until he puts on the mask. So what does that mean? We did see him lose, but we saw him lose against a souped up superhero almost. No one knows Captain America has a super serum until he until he grabs a shield. You don't see the super serum in your body. That's exactly what it is. Now it's not going to give you gamma rays. It's not going to turn you from Bruce Banner into the Hulk, but it is going to give you an advantage. That's why PEDs are illegal. They're performance enhancing drugs. Come on, Yoga Meister, you're smarter than that. So and this is coming from somebody, once again, I know you're new to the stream. I put money on Ryan Garcia. I believe Ryan Garcia would beat Devin Haney, but I do not discredit the effect or the significance of PEDs. That's why they're outlawed for a reason. So no, he does not get that win. Just like they called it a no contest, it's a no contest, no matter what I saw. So that's just the truth. Whether we like it or not, that's the truth. But okay, so let's and plus fuck Ryan Garcia anyway for the racist stuff that he says anyway. But all that stuff before, I put money on Ryan Garcia, and I won money off Ryan Garcia being Devin Haney. I just knew stylistically that Ryan Garcia would win. But I don't want to get too far off the David Benavidez thing. You're right. David Benavidez didn't do much as far as belts, right? I agree with you 1,000%. But David Benavidez is kind of a victim of circumstance, kind of like Boots, right? It's not Boots' fault that he can't get a fight. It might be Eddie Hearn's fault that he's not offering Stanionis, Brian Norman, and Barrios an acceptable amount of money for what they think is what they think they deserve. That might be his team's fault, but that's not Boots' fault. I think that Boots would fight those guys. So with Benavidez been wanting to fight Canelo. Now, Benavidez is nobody's fault but his own for his unprofessionalism that he demonstrated, right? When he came in overweight and when he was on that booger sugar, he was on that cocaine, that white girl, that snow bunny, you know what I'm talking about? He was on that on that dust, right? So that's his fault for putting his eligibility in limbo and in jeopardy. However, we all know that he would fight Canelo, or he would fight anybody that has a belt, and he's proved that. You know, even with his upcoming fight against David Morrell. So David Benavidez, in my opinion, he's a victim of circumstance because he just went up to light heavyweight and just fought Alexander Vosnik, who's a former champion. So while he hasn't accomplished much as far as belts go, I don't think that it's fair to say that we don't think he would, number one, take the opportunity to fight for a belt, and number two, I don't think anybody thinks he's incapable of winning a belt except for me. I don't think he could beat Canelo, but I think it's a great fight. So that's why I have Benavidez high up there, because I think that if I don't have him up there, it's just me penalizing him for not getting a Canelo fight, and he's even wants to fight Beterbiev. He's fighting David Morrell for no gosh dang reason. You know what I'm saying? Besides to please us fans. I think Benavidez, if you're a boxing fan and you don't like Benavidez, I don't understand it. I don't understand how boxing people who call themselves boxing fans, I don't understand how you don't like David Benavidez, Errol Spence, Jermaine Bad Intentions Taylor, guys like that who literally fight anybody and everybody and anybody, even to their own detriment. Errol Spence just came off the worst beating of his life, and he wants to go back in there against Sebastian Fedora. I think it's stupid. I think it's ill-advised. I think he should be protected from himself, but he's demonstrating the heart of a warrior, right? He wants to fight anybody. Oh, Tim Tszú's another one. Tim Tszú just got his ass kicked by Bakram. Bad. But Tim Tszú wants to fight anybody. He's demonstrated that. To me, if you actually a boxing fan, I don't understand how you could not like Tim Tszú, Errol Spence, David Benavidez, or Jermaine Taylor, or guys like that. You know, so as much as I like David Benavidez, I like Canelo more, and I think Canelo would beat him. But I love David Benavidez. I love his mentality. I love his actions, everything he does, everything he says. You know, I mean, sometimes he says some silly stuff, but not much, you know. Fair assessment. I was about to go crazy on Doc, but super fair about Benavidez. Thank you, Dub. So yeah, I don't think anybody. It's not a case of us like. Even though I think that Canelo beats him, do you think Benavidez would beat William Skull, who's an IBF champion right now? I think everybody in here would have David Benavidez beating William Skull. No disrespect to William Skull, the Cuban fighter, Cuban-born fighter. I think he actually resides in Germany. Don't quote me. I think so. But David Benavidez, if he was still at 168 and Canelo vacated the IBF title, let's say hypothetically he fought him, you have to prove it in the ring now. But I think, and we could be wrong, but I think that David Benavidez, I think it's safe to say that 100% of us, however many people in the stream right now, shout out to y'all, big salute, I think that we would have Benavidez beating William Skull. So that's why I give him credit. He said, great, man, I appreciate it, Yoga Meister. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. That's true. Yoga Meister, the game plan was wrong, yes. But I do want to, I appreciate the compliment, man. Shout out to you, bro. I do agree with you. 1,000%. The game plan was wrong, but I do not want. Okay, so I want to give. Let's leave boxing, right? Because I think other sports it's easier because boxing is a very intimate sport. We fall in love with the fighters. Sometimes we live vicariously through the fighters, and I think sometimes we get a little too emotional about the fighters. But you know that's neither here nor there. I do think it's easier to be more removed from a team sport. So let's go to baseball, right? Nobody. When Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Jose Canseco, and Barry Bonds, cheating asses, when they hit those home runs, 500,011 of them, we didn't say, oh man, Ken Griffey Jr. should have hit the balls harder. Pause. We didn't say Ken Griffey Jr. should have hit more home runs. We didn't say Ken Griffey Jr. should have had better hand-eye coordination. We didn't say, oh, the pitchers should have threw the ball better at Mark McGwire. No, we just say they cheated, bro. You know what I'm saying? Could the pitchers that were throwing the ball to them, could they have thrown more sliders and made them miss it? Yeah. But performance enhancing drugs, that's what they do. They enhance your performance. So no matter how bad you are, you're going to be better with PEDs in your system. No matter how great you are, you're going to be greater with PEDs in your system. So I don't want to focus on what the victim of the PEDs could have did better. Let's focus on what the perpetrator should not have done at all. And what he should not have done, whether it was intentional or not, he shouldn't have PEDs in the system. That's just it. Because I like boxing, and I think boxing is very dangerous, right? We just saw, I can't remember his name, God forgive me. He just passed away from fighting. A fighter just passed away last month, bro. Literally. And there was no PEDs or no cheating involved. No missed weight, no nothing. It was a fully sanctioned, fair fight. He passed away. Pritchard Cologne, he's paralyzed. Aniguchi, Kenshiro Aniguchi, 23 years old. He was just in the Fight of the Year candidate in December. He just passed away in January. Like, so we shouldn't have to see the extreme case for us to acknowledge and realize how dangerous the situation Ryan Garcia put Devin Haney in. And Devin Haney still demonstrated the heart of a champion by getting up every time. Like I said, I thought Ryan Garcia would win against Devin Haney. I still think Ryan Garcia beats Devin Haney. But that doesn't mean I have to disregard or be oblivious or discount the impact of PEDs. We still say that Conor Benn beat Chris Algieri because he was on PEDs. Julio Cesar Martinez just got suspended for PEDs. So why is it? I know people don't like Haney. I don't really care for Haney either. But I'm not gonna. I like boxing more than anything, and I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna be dismissive of PEDs. I think it's wrong. And it should everybody should think it's wrong. Ryan should have been banned 3 years. I agree. Longer. Bro, Japan just banned Dang. Excuse me. Japan just banned John Rio Casimiro. John Rio Casimiro just beat the American Saul Sanchez last month. He came in overweight by 1 pound. He got banned for a year. Bro, America, we don't care about rules, bro. We don't care about the welfare of others. We're kind of selfish in that, and we're kind of fanatical about stuff. Like, bro, Japan just banned John Rio Casimiro, the Filipino fighter who I like. I like John Rio Casimiro. I wish he would get the Naya Inoue fight. I think Inoue beats him, but I think that he deserves that fight, and I think it's very interesting and because of his power and his attributes and characteristics in the ring. But John Rio Casimiro came in 1 pound over the weight limit. He came in at 123. The weight limit was 122. He got banned for a year for missing weight by 1 pound. Ryan Garcia missed it by 3, and he had PEDs. If this fight was in Japan, he probably wouldn't fight again in Japan. Case in point, Louis Neary had PEDs and was overweight. He was banned indefinitely from fighting in Japan. They only lifted the ban because they wanted Naya Inoue to put the beats on him to enact revenge and get recompense for him cheating the other guy that he beat, the other Japanese fighter. Conor Benn is still fighting to get back in boxing right now and still appealing because he had PEDs. Amir Khan had ostarine in the system, the same PED that Ryan Garcia had when he fought Kell Brook, and he lost. Guess what? He still got banned for 2 years. He got banned for so long that he decided to retire instead of serving his suspension like a little biatch. But you're telling me, not you, but people are telling me that Ryan Garcia doesn't matter that he had ostarine. Yes, it does matter. He was above the legal limit, the threshold of 0.1 nanograms per milliliter. He was above it by 60 times. He was 6 nanograms per milliliter, 60 times above the legal limit. You try being drunk and failing the sobriety test by 60 times the legal limit. See if you don't get put under the jail, whether you hit somebody or crash or not. So we gotta be fair, man. We gotta respect the integrity, the sanctity, and the purity of the sport. But I do agree with you. He should have approached it differently. I agree with you, Yoga Meister. Devin Haney should have approached it differently, but I think it's very wrong to focus on that and not focus. Yeah, I feel like people say that just to distract you from the case of somebody being cheated. Juan Manuel Marquez said 1 year and the penalization and the penalty was too easy. Yeah, the penalty was too easy, and that's shout out to Juan Manuel Marquez, one of my favorite fighters. He's on my outro. You'll see me in a picture with Juan Manuel Marquez on the outro if you stay long enough to watch the outros. Yeah, Juan Manuel Marquez is one of my favorite fighters. Facts, because when you love the sport, you don't tolerate cheating. You know. Shout out to the people. I know it's few and far between, but shout out to Caleb Sweethand's Plant. He denounced it. Shout out to everybody that denounces it. Because if it was your favorite fighter or your son or a guy in your stable or a guy you're training, you wouldn't like it. You know, so I think sometimes I don't care if you like Devin Haney or not. It doesn't matter. It could be Devin Haney cheating Ryan Garcia. Devin Haney should be suspended too. Anybody who cheats, you know. When you mix PEDs with a fighter, then you have them fight a fighter with a lot of heart like Haney. That's when the problem starts to form. Yes, facts, Looney, facts. Because that's why I say too, you know, like the smaller weight divisions, and take PEDs out of it. You know, we saw Maxim Dardashev, who passed away from fighting Subra Matias, right? It's the accumulation of punches. That's why heavyweight division is more. How can I say? Heavyweight division is more devastating, right? Because one punch. Almost all those guys can have one punch power, right? Some more than others, but almost all of them. But still, that one punch knocks you out. But when you're in the smaller weights, I'd say from like 160 down, hell, even 168 sometimes, but 160 down, you take an accumulation of punches. So now your brain is repeatedly rattling, and you're maximizing the effect, and you may not feel it immediately, as opposed to big punches, boom, you get knocked out, one shot, you done. So in a way, it's kind of safer at the heavyweight division for avoiding and minimizing sustained damage to your brain from repeatedly getting hit. Like, go watch Tim Bradley versus Ruslan Provodnikov. That is a very dangerous fight, bro. You could see Tim Bradley knocked out, unconscious, still swinging. That's one of my favorite fights of all time, but that's dangerous. Even Jose Luis Castillo and Diego Corrales, rest in peace, Diego Corrales. Like, those sustained punches at the end, you got your hands down, your eyes roll to the back of your head. That's very dangerous, bro. Look at Angelio, what's the other guy, man? What's the dude's name? That was like I said, Anaguchi. They went a 12-round fight, but he passed away after that, after he was put in a coma because he had emergency craniotomy done and it just failed. Unfortunately for him, shout out to him and his family and condolences. But yeah, now it was tainted, so why didn't Ryan fight it? Yeah, bro, it's always goofy. I ain't gonna lie. That statement is silly. He said dirty people protecting Devin. Yeah, okay. It's so funny. So how come nobody dirty protected Conor Ben or Conor Ben's opponents? So are we questioning? So are you just questioning the validity of the test now, or you're questioning the validity of the test when Alicia Baumgartner failed her test, or Conor Ben failed his test, or Canelo failed his test? And these are all three people. I didn't say that coincidentally. All these three people, they appealed it because they believed in their innocence. They believed that whatever they ate was tainted. They took it to court. Ryan Garcia pled out. So when you plead out, just in case you're not familiar with the legality of things, when you plead out, that's essentially also taking a no contest, saying, hey, I don't want to go and fight this. You know what I'm saying? You know, at least Devin Haney fought. Ryan Garcia didn't fight. He pled out saying that, hey, I could potentially get worse of a punishment if I try to fight because they're gonna factor in all the evidence and I might get even more time. So pleading out doesn't mean that you're guilty. It's not an admission of guilt, but it damn sure is not a plea of innocence. So let's be very clear on that, Borzoi. You know, let's be very clear on that. When you plead out, you're not being found guilty because you're not even going to court. When you plead out, you're settling. When you settle, it's not an admission of innocence, just like it's not an admission of guilt. It's not a determination of innocence. It's not a declaration of innocence. It means that you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe in your case and you're willing to just take whatever they want as opposed to wasting taxpayers' dollars. He said Canelo only won his case because the WBC had his back. Maybe, I don't know. It could have been the stakes. I believe him, but you know why I believe him? Because the court says I'm like, that's the thing, bro. People say that I'm what's the word I'm looking for? People say that I do have favorites. I have no problem telling you my two favorite fighters are Canelo and Tank. But you'll be very hard pressed to find me sound ridiculous or give them preferential treatment. I believe Canelo because Canelo took it to court and it was proven. Now you could be right. There could be some things going on in the back door or in the shadows that manipulating things. But I don't care about that because I don't have time to be worried about who's conspiring what, the conspiracy theories. I don't have time for that. If they would have said Ryan Garcia would have passed the test, I would have said he was innocent. But they didn't say that. They said he failed. So I'll let you worry about what's going on in the powers that be. I ain't got time for that. If you go to court and they say they rule in your favor, hey, you're innocent of not doing it intentional. Canelo was not innocent of not having it in his system. He's innocent of not doing it intentionally, which is why his sentence was severely reduced. There's a difference. So he still had it in his system, not during the fight, like Ryan Garcia. He had it in his system during training camp for that period of time. Then he went to court, appealed it, and that's how him and Triple G fought the second time in September instead of their original date in May. So it cycled off or whatever, and then they had the fight, you know, and he served his little lesser suspension for having it in his system because negligence is not an excuse. Same with Alicia Baumgartner. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, the Queens one time for the ladies. She took it to court because she believed that it was not intentionally taken by her, and she won. Conor Ben also believed that it was the eggs, and he took it to court. Now he lost, but he lost the appeals. Well, he just won this recent one. But Ryan Garcia didn't do any of that. He didn't even believe in his innocence. So I don't want to hear that. No, it's not. He had a case. If it was tainted, when he could prove it. Exactly. It's above. He just said it's above Ryan's head. So he said it's above Ryan's head to take it to court on his own behalf. When is it above your head to go to court on your own behalf? It was up to him. So once again, you have people who want to believe what they want to believe, no matter what the truth is. And you go ahead and live your stupidity. That's fine. You want to be dumb, then be dumb, because that's exactly what you're being. And I'm not calling you dumb. You're demonstrating dumbness, and I have no problem saying if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. So if you want to act dumb, be dumb, then you're dumb. You're choosing to be dumb. You just said it's above his head to go to court. He could go to court if he wants to. So you're saying that Devin Haney has people protecting him. It's eye level for him to. He has so much power that he could taint somebody else's drugs. Tests. He could control the result of people's tests, and he can have the powers that be control the narrative. It's not above his head, but it's above Ryan Garcia's head to go to court. You sound like a fucking idiot. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I'm sorry. Shout out to Borzoi, but this is how you sound right here. Let me play it for you. We got the first one of the day, chat. You a yeah, you dumb as hell. Ben said he got the eggs from Antarctica. But hey, I respect Ben. At least he took it to court. He believed in himself. You know what I'm saying? So this man said it's above Ryan Garcia's head. You sound like a fucking dumbass. But hey, if that's what you want to believe, supporter in the building. Gallegos was underestimated. Yep, the Gallegos was definitely underestimated. But I think I don't know if Cole would have beat him anyway. To be honest, you know, Gallegos put on a show. He did. Yeah, that sounds very dumb. I'm not saying that you're a dumb person, but this action right here, this act of what you just said was dumb as hell. I got to be honest. You know, I'm not pulling no punches. You sound dumb as hell. I guess Devin Haney has a. I guess it wasn't the New York State Athletic Commission that decided on the case. It was Devin Haney. Devin Haney changed the decision to a no contest because he has that power. You sound like a dumbass. He said, did he include a back fist? Yeah, your IQ is equal to your age. Yeah, facts. Probably lower. That doesn't make any sense. He said it was all to protect Devin's record. Yep, you're right. I said Ryan was there. It took a while for the results. That's how all the results come back. So once again, you're misinformed and you sound dumb. That's how all the results come back. That's why they do day of testing. So once again, you sound dumb. There was no pleading now. Regulations clear on strict liability. New York City chose to suspend him to failure to disclose all supplements. There was no pleading out. The regulation is clear on strict liability. Yep. New York State Athletic chose to suspend him on failure to disclose. No, that's what he pled out to. Clobber time. Yo, Doc, you seen Turkey post that he's going to do with the Ring magazine? Yeah, I talked about it yesterday, man. That's crazy. If the test was factually tainted, we wouldn't even be talking now. It would be a simple close case. Exactly, Looney. But people, like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but what Clobber and Time said was mostly true. They chose to suspend him on failure to disclose all substances because once you don't take it to court, then that's what he was responsible for. So they're saying, okay, even if it was tainted, even if you did get it from a supplement, we're not going to test it now to test the whole batch and go through all that because that's tax-paying dollars, and that's what happens when you include all the evidence. You see what I'm saying? So they're giving him the benefit of the doubt, saying, okay, wait, you didn't take it intentionally. But like I said, like you said, and like I said, negligence is not an excuse. You know what I'm saying? You have it in your system. You have it in your system. So yeah, you said they suspended him for failure to not disclose all supplements. That was what he agreed to. It was a settlement. So don't get it twisted, bro. It was not that, oh, we could only suspend it for. No, he chose not to take it to court. He could take it to court, and if he would have took it to court, they would have included all that evidence in regards to whether or not it was Scooter who he blamed, or whether or not it was the ashwagandha like he blamed, or whether or not it was a NutraBio like he claimed. Whatever he blamed, they would have went into a deep investigation. That's how it works, bro. It's not like, oh, they only suspended him for that because that's all they had. No, that's not how life works. I mean, case in point, look at Tory Lanez, right? If Tory Lanez would have pled out, he wouldn't have got 10 years. Not because he didn't shoot Megan or because he did shoot her. Is that if he would have pled out, they would not even consider that evidence, and they would have just went with the situation. Okay, someone got shot. You're admitting to this. Boom, we're just going to punish you on what you admitted on. So Ryan Garcia admitted to not reporting all of his supplements. So that's what he got punished for. That's why he got a year. It wasn't that, oh, yeah, man, we agree that it was the supplements. Or no, they didn't make no determination on that. You just wanted to believe in conspiracy and dude that can't even lie straight. Yeah. I heard Bam looked good, but is he ready for Nakatani? I don't know how you could determine that. I don't know how that could be determined. He fought. But yeah, I mean, to each his own, Clobber in Time. You know what I'm saying? However you want to cut it, however you want to slice it. It was a no contest. He copped the plea. He copped the settlement, whatever you want to call it, and he didn't go to court. That's the end of it. To anybody else who wants have that discussion, you know. Please don't forget to hit that like button, man. I didn't say it, but please, you know, I shouldn't have to say it, man. Hit that like button for your boy. Really helps us grow. It's free. You know what I'm saying? Help us grow, man. Help us keep going and growing. Yeah, I don't think you can make that determination, supporter, because it's hard, right? Junto Nakatani is at another division. I know it's only 3 pound difference between the divisions 118 and 115, but the fact still remains. Bam Rodriguez just beat a 35-year-old Pedro Guevara who had 4 losses and 1 draw already. It's hard for me to determine if he could beat Junto Nakatani based on that. I agree. Intention or camp? I agree. Clobberington. I agree. Me and you are in agreement. I thought that you were saying that. When I just took exception to when you said they chose to suspend him. I see what you're saying. You're saying, yeah, so they chose because they didn't go to court. They could have pressed the issue too. You're right. So if you're saying that they could have pressed the issue, yeah, they could have pressed the issue too. But they're not going to do that once you accept. Yeah, so you're right. Yes, we are in agreement. I thought you were saying something else. Intentional killer. Yes, that's a fact. It does not absolve you from that. But he could have got worse if they would have found out it was intentional, which is why Canelo and Alicia Baumgartner, that's why they took it to court, right? To prove that it wasn't intentional. So if it's intentional, you get more time. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, let's say something is, let's go extreme, right? It's like murder, right? You know, voluntary and involuntary manslaughter. Like if I hit somebody with my car, I do it accidental, right? I'm going to get less time than I will if I run somebody down intentionally and chase them down while they're running, and you know what I'm saying? And it's premeditated. You're going to get more time. It still results in the death and murder of somebody and results in me getting charged, but you'll get more or less time depending on your intent. So intent matters, but you're right. It does not absolve you from nothing. No, that's the whole point. That's the rule of the book. That's what it says. It doesn't matter if you did it intentionally, unintentionally, if it was purposefully or accidentally, or it was beknownst to you or unbeknownst to you. You did it, your mama did it. It doesn't matter. You're right. As long as it's in your system. The neglect is not excuse me. Oh, trying to crack my back. Neglect is not acceptable. Is an acceptable reason to admit you of guilt. Absolve you of guilt. Excuse me. Yo, I got flamed on Facebook group for saying Farmer upset Zepeda. Wow. I'm not mad at that. I think Zepeda wins, but I'm not mad at Farmer's good, right? I think Farmer beat Muratalla. I thought it was a close fight. Could have went either way, though. I'm not mad at it. But I thought in that moment, I thought Farmer beat Muratalla. I think Zepeda's going to have too much pressure. I don't think you should get flamed for that. I mean, Tevin Farmer's a good fighter, but I think Zepeda wins. Shakur versus Zepeda will be like the Vasquez fight, easy work, pure boxer versus flat-footed fighter. I think Shakur beats Zepeda as well. I initially thought Zepeda had a good chance, but now to me, it doesn't seem like Zepeda really wants that fight. So to me, it shows a lack of confidence. So I do think that he has a good chance to beat him. Smoochie said, are we watching the Clarissa Shields movie? I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about watching Clarissa Shields. What's it called again? It's called, what it called? I'm interested in it, yeah. I can't remember what it's called, though. Yeah, I think that's dope. I heard it's doing pretty good, too. I heard it's doing pretty well in the theaters. What's it? The Fire Inside, right? Yeah, The Fire Inside. I think that I heard it's doing pretty good, so I would watch it. Yeah. Yo, shout out to my guy. Yo, shout out to my guy Clone, man. Clone talk about he hitting the Cash App, man. He said you scared of Undisputed Smoke or no? He talking about I'm scared of the Undisputed Smoke, man. Shout out to my boy Clone for dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
Talking about I'm scared of playing, man. Undisputed, man. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here, bro. You don't want that pressure, man. Shout out to him, man. And that was the first Cash App of the day, so you know he coming in like a boss. Well, wrong one. I played one time for the ladies. My bad, Clone. No disrespect. My boy Chloe coming through like a boss.
Pollo in the kitchen, pollo in the kitchen.
It's gonna be easy work for you. Think it's gonna be easy work? Yeah, man. D Looney, yeah, she has a movie. It just came out. The Fire Inside. Yep, exactly. No doubt. Punishment is left at the commission. Guess they didn't want to use him as an example. Yeah. But I don't even know if they didn't want to, Clobber and Talk. Like I said, you can't. Yes, you're right. You can. Like I said, this is not the first time, right? Like for example, Canelo. So I want to make this distinction, and that's why I don't know if we're confusing the two. Maybe you're not. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's left up to the commission, but at the same time, it's up to you to challenge it. Like same with Canelo, for example. I gave the Canelo and the Alicia Bumgarner. They never proved, because you can't prove that it's not in your system, right? Because once it's there, it's there. But they took it to court because they were against the time that was given for this infraction, right? So he was like, oh, I can't remember. I think he got 90. I think he got a year and a half. Canelo initially, he took it to court and it got severely reduced. That's why that's why the fight got postponed from May to September. So it was up to him to appeal it, you know. So that was a judgment they handed down. Ryan Garcia got handed down a 12 months, you know, a year. We see people get handed down a year, like Casemiro, right? Casemiro can try to appeal the fact that, well, no, I don't think he came in overweight. That's a punishment. You could appeal all the court. Same with Conor Ben, Julio Cesar Martinez, who just got suspended. He could appeal it, but if you choose not to appeal it, then you're okay with the punishment. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. So. Yeah, but it's America. America don't care about that. I mean, we consistently give less of a punishment compared to other places. He said, why would you want to do drugs? So now you're trying to say that Ryan Garcia is smart. This man asked, why would you? So that's and then now I'm done. I got to call you dumb one more time. So you're saying, this is what Borzoi's argument is. He said, why would you do drugs knowing they're being tested? So you think when you get tested is by accident? You think people don't know that? You sign up for the testing, goofy. Everybody knows they're getting tested. So no one cheated then, because your argument is that why would you cheat if you know you're getting tested? So you think that the people that get caught cheating, they don't know they're getting tested, or do they think that that they could do a thing called microdosing and avoid the test and not be detected by the test? So your argument is that Ryan Garcia is smart enough. He's not dumb enough, meaning that he's smart to not get caught. Bro, you're dumb as hell, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You're dumb as hell, bro. Just say you don't like Devin Haney and you're happy that he got beat and you okay. You don't care if Ryan Garcia would have had a machine gun in there and you would have told him to dodge the bullets. You're a fucking idiot, bro. So everybody. So how come you didn't say Canelo didn't? Is it Canelo's not smart enough to not cheat and not get since your thing is a testing, right? Canelo wasn't smart enough not to do a test. Not to cheat because he knows he gets tested. So everybody else that got caught cheating and failed tests is because they're too stupid, they're too stupid to not cheat because they wouldn't cheat because they got tested. So they didn't know they were going to get tested. So Ryan Garcia is the first person to ever cheat and get caught and know that he was going to get tested. Dumb as hell, bro. So Canelo got cheat. He didn't know he was gonna get tested. Alicia Bumgarner didn't know they were gonna get tested. Julio Cesar Martinez didn't know he was gonna get tested. Conor Ben didn't know he was gonna get tested. No, they just cheated, bro. They didn't. Canelo and Alicia Bumgarner didn't cheat intentionally, but it was in their system. They knew they were gonna get tested. So his argument switched now to that. If Ryan Garcia didn't cheat because Ryan Garcia wouldn't have been too dumb to cheat if he knew he's gonna get tested. So I guess Manny Pacquiao's a cheater then because he didn't want to fight Floyd because he was gonna get tested. So if you don't take a test, that means you're cheating. If you do take a test, that means you're not cheating. Okay. So Manny Pacquiao's a cheater, chat, because he didn't fight Floyd Mayweather. Because according to Borzoi's logic, if you take the test, that means you're not cheating. So all you have to do is take a test. That means you're not cheating. It doesn't matter what the results are. If you take a test, that means you're not cheating. And if you don't take a test, that means you're cheating because you're scared to get caught cheating. So if you don't want to take a test like Manny Pacquiao because of his religious purposes, he's cheating because he didn't take the test. Yeah, so that makes sense. So everybody who's a dirty fighter, they're not taking tests. It doesn't matter what the results are. The tests aren't a test if you're cheating. The tests don't determine if you're cheating or not. It's the fact that you're willing to take the test means that you are or not cheating. That's crazy. That's crazy, man, sir. He said, of all people, I didn't think Tim would take that position. Tim Bradley thinks Ryan would say, yeah, because Tim is like I said, I like Tim Bradley as a fighter, as a commentator, not so much. I think that dude's an idiot. I'm not gonna lie. Like I like him. I like the fact that he's honest, and I don't think he's lying, and that's a scary part. I don't think that he is. I don't think that he is being disingenuous. That's why I think Andre Ward was let go, because Andre Ward would correct a lot of the dumb stuff that Tim Bradley would say. The fact that Tim Bradley, a former fighter, is okay with somebody cheating, but then every time they bring up Chris Algieri's fight against Conor Benn, they say Conor Benn was cheating when he beat Chris Algieri because he likes Chris Algieri. I think Tim Bradley is no disrespect, he's a Hall of Fame fighter, Hall of Fame boxing contributor, but he's clearly biased. Like it's sickening, actually. It's kind of disgusting. Tim Bradley would also be the same one that says that people need to give him, and stupid ass Paulie Malignaggi. They would say that people need to give William Zepeda a chance. He's a mandatory in all 4 sanctioned bodies. He doesn't want a championship fight. It's not because people aren't giving him a chance. He's been calling out Shakur. Shakur is obliged. He doesn't want to. It's up to William Zepeda why he doesn't fight. It's not up to him. It's not up to Shakur. Shakur said he will give him a fight. But at the same time, David Benavidez, they're mad at Canelo for not fighting David Benavidez. And they say, oh, well, Canelo was weak because he's ducking David Benavidez. But then William Zepeda, who's not fighting Tank, Shakur, Lomachenko, or Baranchyk, suddenly is the champion's fault for not fighting him? When he called them out and they said, okay, we'll fight him, and he doesn't want to fight him. So on one hand, you're mad at Canelo for not fighting Benavidez, but on the other hand, you're not mad at Zepeda for not fighting any of the champions when they would fight him. Like, I don't know, bro. And he said, didn't Bradley get caught with something in the system too? Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, Tim be on some goofy stuff, bro. Like, it took me a while to say that because I like Tim and I respect the fighters. I like him as a fighter, but he says a lot of dumb stuff. And it's like they you could tell when they talk to people, and they talk how they talk because they know the average fighter doesn't keep up with boxing. Like, I mean, the average boxing fan doesn't keep up with boxing that much, So on one hand, they say, oh, Tank should fight Shakur, but then on the other hand, they don't say that Lomachenko should fight Shakur when Shakur was on the same exact top rank, and that is the easiest fight to facilitate. You see what I'm saying? Because they're on the same promotional company. That's the easiest fight to facilitate. They don't even talk about Lomachenko not fighting Shakur. They just talk about Tank not fighting Shakur. But what about Lomachenko and Shakur? They don't even care about that. They're completely biased towards top rank fighters and top rank endeavors, and they like Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy a lot too. Bro was on the same short bus as Ryan and Rolly. Wait, what happened? Because who was on the? Oh boy, yeah, he's stupid. I ain't gonna lie, that dude's dumb. I didn't think people could be that dumb. Like, he has to be trolling. I hope he's trolling. You can't be that dumb. I just ignored him because he's stupid as hell. He doesn't even know. He once again, it's another idiot talking on a topic that they're uneducated in regards to. He's completely ignorant. He thinks microdosing is something that Ryan Garcia would make up. He thinks steroids application and steroid distribution is based on the fighter. He thinks that fighters don't have nutritionists and dietitians and people that they pay to tell them what to do as far as what is most advantageous for certain situations. So if you are taking steroids, you don't just take it by yourself. You consult somebody, you idiot. Just like when you have a dietitian, you consult the people that you're taking food from, because you're hiring people to determine what is best for you to eat during training camp. So if you're taking steroids, you're not just going and purchasing it yourself and administering it yourself. You probably have people to help you with it. Dumbass. Just like when you seek legal advice, you don't just do it yourself. You seek lawyers. So when Devin Haney takes Ryan Garcia to court, he didn't just decide one day that he's going to take him to court. He has legal advisors that consulted him and advised him to do so because they feel he has a strong case. So when you go over here to say, oh, well, Devin Haney's dumb for taking him to court. Well, Devin Haney's not the first person, and he's not even the last person to take somebody to court for PEDs. You just don't pay attention because you don't actually watch boxing. You instead want to watch who Ryan Garcia is dating, who the way Ryan Garcia combs his hair, where he's going for vacation because you're a groupie. That's what happens when you're a groupie. I watch boxing. I couldn't tell you any of that stuff, but I can tell you what goes on in boxing. Devin Haney's not the first. He's not the trailblazer on taking a fighter to court for suing them for having PEDs in the system. He's not the pioneer of being cheated in the boxing ring. I could name you plenty of examples. So if you think that this is new, it's only new to you because you don't pay attention. You don't really watch boxing. You're just a groupie. And that's okay. Do your thing. He's trolling, Doc. No one is that silly, bro. D Looney, it's crazy. He got to be trolling. He got to. But the sad part is people are that dumb. Doc, play that Oscar De La Powder, you dumb. yeah. If you think that Devin Haney is the first person to sue somebody for PEDs, then this is just what you are, bro. I got to give it to you. I got to give it to you raw.
You dumbass.
He's just naive. You don't even know how to spell naive. See? So not only do you talk about things you don't know, you also use words that you're not accustomed to. That's not how you spell naive. Damn. And don't say it's a typo. It's just that
you dumbass.
This man spelled a word, a 2-syllable word wrong.
You dumbass.
Doc, play that. Yeah, I got you, bro. It's not even funny. So yeah, it's not even funny. It's a draw. He's just a dummy. But anyway, it's all good. Let him have it, bro. You can think what you want, bro. It's okay. It's a free country, you know. Oh, I never see so many people back somebody and give somebody excuses. You must be one of Ryan Garcia's hoes. But yeah. Shout out to you though, Borzo, you know. Shout out to Devin Haney. Shout out to Ryan Garcia. It is what it is. Gives me something to talk about. I ain't mad. Oh man. That's why you got to be careful with not only the information you receive, but who you're receiving it from. Like another thing that Tim Bradley and Paulie Malignaggi say, like I said with Canelo, they're mad that Canelo doesn't give Dave Benavidez a chance. And I wish Canelo would give Dave Benavidez a chance. That's true. But they say that, you know, he's not fighting his mandatories. But then William Zepeda's not choosing to fight the champions, and they're somehow still blaming the champions. So you're telling me that, okay, let's say Shakur doesn't want to fight Zepeda. Okay, let's make that up. Let's pretend. So Tank doesn't want to fight him either. Okay, let's pretend. So Lomachenko doesn't want to fight him either. Let's pretend. So you tell me Baranchyk doesn't want to fight me. So none of the 4 champions want to fight Zepeda. How likely do you think that is? Come on, bro. Like I said, Zepeda is a good fighter, but you know, it's so funny. I saw something else where they said Richard Sahitches didn't want to fight Subra Matias because he was a mandatory, and I agree. Richard Sahitches didn't want to fight Subra Matias. I don't think so, but he was a mandatory for only one sanctioning body, the IBF. So why would you even say that on your platform, but then not acknowledge that William Zepeda also has not been fighting the champions either? They pick and choose who they hold to certain standards, and it's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous, man. You know, they're mad at Canelo for fighting the #1 Edgar Berlanga. I'm not saying it's a good fight. I don't like it either, but Edgar Berlanga was ranked #1 in the WBA when Canelo fought him. So if you're okay with Naoya Inoue fighting TJ Doheny, who magically appeared in the rankings once they made the fight, who was 4-3 in his last 7 fights, if you are okay with that fight, you think that's a good fight against TJ Doheny, then there's no way that you could be mad at Canelo for fighting Edgar Berlanga. There's no way that you could be mad at Tank for fighting Frank Martin or Lamont Roach. But you're okay with Naoya Inoue fighting TJ Doheny. I think it's a good fight because I don't think it's a good fight from a competitive standpoint. I think Naoya Inoue fighting TJ Doheny is okay because I saw it as a stay active fight, a stay busy fight, because he wanted to fight Sam Goodman. But Sam Goodman didn't want to fight at that time, which is why they're fighting now in December 24th, good Lord willing, they rescheduled. But if you're okay with them fighting TJ Doheny as a stay active fight, why aren't you okay with Tank fighting Lamont Roach as a stay active fight? Because Lamont Roach is a champion. Tank his initial desire wasn't to fight Lamont Roach. His initial target was Lomachenko. Lomachenko declined. Then he tried to fight Rayo. Rayo declined. Then he wanted to fight De Los Santos. De Los Santos was injured. Then he found Lamont Roach. That was his 4th option. But you ignore that and just say, oh, Tank is trying to look for the easy route. You see what I'm saying? But then you don't say nothing when Naoya Inoue doesn't fight MJ Akhmadaliev, who's been ranked #1 in the WBA and been calling for that fight. But he fought Louis Neary and he fought TJ Doheny, which in fact he should be fighting MJ Akhmadaliev to the point where MJ Akhmadaliev is taking him to court. Borzoi, that's another fighter that's going to court. You know, he's taking him to court to have Naoya Inoue officially stripped for not fighting him. But you don't care about that though, because you don't really watch boxing. But don't worry, I got you. I got you, bro. I'm gonna help you out. By the way, William Skull, who just fought Vladimir Shishkin and beat Vladimir Shishkin is taking William Skull. He's appealing. He's petitioning the result of that loss. So why aren't you calling him a pussy too? Are people trying to protect Vladimir Shishkin because he chose to petition the fight? Are they protecting Vladimir Shishkin too? He didn't like the decision of the victory, so he's petitioning to get it overturned in his favor. Same thing Lomachenko did against David Haney too. When he lost, he tried to petition for that to get overturned. Oh, same thing Artem Delakian did with his loss against Kosei Tanaka. He thought he was robbed, so he petitioned. But you don't know about that though, right? Because you don't watch boxing. I understand. I understand. I get it. You don't really watch boxing, bro. Oh, matter of fact, you know Bivol? Oh, Bivol petitioned, you know, his manager, Kornilov, who's also the manager of MJ Akhmadaliev. Oh, he's taken 2 fighters to court in the last 1 month. In the last month, he's taken 2 fighters to court. He's taken Naoya Inoue to court for not satisfying his WBA mandatory on behalf of MJ Akhmadaliev, and he's taken Bivol to court. Beterbiev to court for what he felt was a controversial decision in the favor of Beterbiev instead of his fighter Bivol. They're taking them to court because they don't like. They're appealing. They're petitioning they're petitioning the ruling because they don't agree with it. But you're only worried about Devin Haney, right? Because he's the first fighter ever to petition, or which he didn't even petition. You know, it was the New York State Athletic Commission that determined it. He didn't petition anything. You know, but that's what we do over here, man. Whether you like facts or not, we speak the facts. Whether you like it or not, whether it's your favorite fighter or not, whether it's my favorite fighter or not. Because they're no kin to me. I'm not related with them. I'm not in a relationship with them. I just tell the truth. All this stuff is documented, man. You can look it up. Or you can just come here and I'll give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Raw. No Diddy.
No Diddy.
Oh, man. But yeah, I do think, who said it in the chat? Devin Haney could have had a better game plan, but the guy cheated, you know what I'm saying? And when it comes to sports and fair competition and keeping up the integrity of the sport, keeping the sport intact from a purity standpoint, and keeping the overall sanctity, integrity, and purity of the sport, then we shouldn't rock with cheaters.
We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all.
I'll hop in the Discord if you explain yourself in Discord, but you probably too much of a pussy to do it. Oh yeah, he ain't going. Yeah, he ain't going. P, you spewing fake news? I'll spin the fake news. Fake news.
If you out here getting fake vagina over your fake jury, reality is reality.
Fake news. But yeah, man, I think that boxing is cool, man. You just gotta, we just gotta approach it from a holistic standpoint, man. And I know, like I said, I know we want to live vicariously through the fighters. It's a very intimate sport, but just tell the truth, man. The truth will set you free, man. You know, it's easy to tell the truth. You know, I like certain fighters more than I like other fighters too, but you will not. That's one thing you will not hear me do. You will not hear me cap on behalf of any fighter. You know, I might be mistaken. I'm not perfect. You know, I make mistakes. I might tell you, oh, this guy fights tomorrow and he actually fights on Wednesday. I might make a mistake like that, but you will never hear me lying because I like this fighter more than another fighter. My preference doesn't get in the way of me distributing boxing news. But yeah, we have Guillermo Rigondeaux fighting tonight, man. And I want to also thank my mods, man. Thank you for not banning anybody for having a difference of opinion, even Borzoi or whoever it is. Like, I want this to be known as a place where we can have open dialogue about boxing, man. I don't want to ban anybody or time out anybody because they have a different opinion, no matter how utterly ridiculous and stupid it is. You know what I'm saying? We still want to let them have their opinion as long as they're not being offensive to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Anybody by way of ethnicity, religion, complexion, race, whatever you want to call it, or sexual orientation, denomination or demographic. Don't be discriminatory. You know what I'm saying? Say whatever you want. You like Ryan Garcia, you like Bam Rodriguez, or you like Gervonta Tank Davis, or you like Tyson Fury or Canelo Alvarez. You know, I'm not mad at that. Just don't be mad at me for telling me that your opinion is dumb if it's dumb, because some opinions are dumb. Yeah, Bam Rodriguez over on the pound for pound list, that's cool. You know, I disagree with it, but I won't call you dumb. You know, but if you want to say stupid shit like somebody's setting somebody up to cheat because you're infatuated with the person's genitals, and that's kind of crazy. I'm gonna call it for what it is. I told you, man. This man, Jake Paul, saying that he's going to call out Canelo after he beats Mike Tyson. What did I say, chat? Do not be surprised if Canelo fights Jake Paul for his last fight and then retires. Similar to Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. I hope it doesn't happen, but I could see it happening. But, yeah, I'm about to go ahead and get off, man. I got to get some food, man. He said, oh, I wanted to. Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you resisting that urge, bro. Let people be done, man. You got to let them, bro. Because, like I said, I don't want this to... I don't want... Bro, Manson said Brian Norman number 5 pound for pound. You might as well. I mean, he upset Giovanni Santillan. If Bam's number 4, shoot, Brian Norman could be number 5. I believe it. If you could call Bam number 4, then yeah, Brian Norman could be anybody. Yeah, facts. Brian Norman should be number 5. If Bam Rodriguez is number 4, yeah, Brian Norman should be number 5. I agree with that. Why don't he call out Usyk a real cruiserweight? If Canelo fights Jake Paul and not Benavidez, he a duck. Absolutely. He been calling out Canelo. Yeah, he been calling out Canelo. Yeah, the facts. He been calling him out. But he wants a payday. He wants a payday. Who said that earlier? Facts. He wants a payday, which I'm not mad at. I mean, no one takes Jake Paul seriously. So if you're gonna make a lot of money, which he's doing, I salute him. You know, I ain't never been no hater, so salute to Jake Paul. And despite what people may think, I do personally believe that Jake Paul is good for boxing, because a lot of casuals and a lot of people that follow him as a YouTuber and a social celebrity, you know, a socialite, they will tune into boxing because of him, his inclusion in it. Now, a lot of them won't stick around and stay, but I'm all for the spreading of boxing, because it gives me more opportunity and more people to have a discussion of boxing with, which I love talking boxing. And if, you know, it also gives me more opportunity to grow and be seen as a channel that keeps it funky, you know, as opposed to a lot of these channels that grow because they spread fake news and push narratives, and they have relationships with their favorite fighter, personal relationships, or they strive to have personal relationships with their favorite fighter, so they say things that reflect showing their fighter in a good light, even though, no matter how bad of a light that they're in. It's real groupie shit, groupie activity from grown men. It's crazy to me. You could be a grown man and be so fanatical and infatuated with another person that barely knows you, you know, and you could disregard your dignity and disregard your self-respect and disregard what's right because you like somebody. I think that's ridiculous. I feel like I am a boxing channel, but I prioritize, you know, I won't knock anybody. Grow how you grow, you know, do your thing. I ain't knocking it, because growing in the content creation space is difficult, but I want to grow from the perspective and the standpoint of being a platform and a channel, mostly on a platform that gives out the real news about boxing, you know what I'm saying? And yes, we're going to have bias. Everybody's going to have their innate biases, but my channel is prioritizing boxing news from a truthful standpoint and a holistic standpoint, not a narrow-minded, fanatical, groupie standpoint, because I'm grown. None of these boxers are any kin to me. Now, if one of the boxers want to come out and start paying me to push a certain narrative, then yeah, we could get it popping. You know what I'm saying? If that check right, you know. But up until then, I'm not on nobody's payroll, so I got to tell the truth. You right, though. I got that point, Kendrick. See, D. Looney, that's funny, not going to lie. And he wanted geriatric patient, so I have no sympathy. He want to fight geriatric patient. Jake Paul, number 1, pound for pound, change my mind. I bet you see you try. Yeah, Looney. Jake Paul, number 1, bro. Facts. But yeah, I think what Jake Paul's doing is good for boxing. And look at it too, not only for himself, but look what he's doing for Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. That's dope. You know, even Mario Barrios versus Abel Ramos, who's a top 10 guy, right? It's not the best fight. We want to see Mario Barrios unify against Stanionis, Boots, or Norman. But Abel Ramos is a good fighter for a voluntary defense. He's a top 10 guy. So he's bringing me another fight card on another weekend. So on Friday we have Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, and then on Saturday we have the Latino Nights Riyadh season with Zurdo and Chris Billiam Smith, which I think is a great fight for the cruiserweight division, man. We have a unification bout there, you know what I'm saying? I think that's dope. Oh, and if Zurdo wins and he's unified, I'm putting him over Bam Rodriguez on the pound for pound list. I'm playing. I'm joking, y'all. I'm messing with y'all. All unifications aren't equal. I'm not saying that, but I do think they still mean something. I'm just seeing that Pedro old at 4 losses. Pedro's old 4 losses, man. So that's before he fought. Bam Rodriguez was not his 4th loss. It was his 5th loss. Old with 4 losses, chat. In fact, my little nephew started watching boxing because of KSI and Jake Paul. Right, exactly. So, like I said, I mean, I don't watch Jake. I only watched one Jake Paul fight. That was his last one that he fought Mike Perry. Shout out to the chat because I wasn't going to watch it. I don't like watching exhibition level fighters. I like watching world-class, high-level professional athletes. You know, that's why I don't watch collegiate sports. I don't watch exhibition sports. I don't watch amateur sports. I don't watch it. It just doesn't pique my interest. So I don't really watch Jake Paul, but I'll probably watch Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson because I'm going to already be watching the KD Taylor versus Amanda Serrano rematch. And I'm looking forward to Barrios versus Abel Ramos. I'm starting to think you, the tank of boxing creators, you know why. Bruh, chill out, bruh. That's crazy, bro. This man said he only fight. But yeah, I gotta get some food, man. I'm starving, man. You know, hey, if you enjoy the content, the daily content, man, thank you. I appreciate you being here. But if you enjoy it, man, another way that you can show me your appreciation is by considering becoming a member, starting at $3 per month, hitting the Cash App that's revolving on the bottom of your screen like spinners in the 99s and the 2000s, you know what I'm saying? You know the spinner rims, you know what I'm talking about. Or drop it a super chat, you know what I'm saying? Like so many folks do. I appreciate that love, man. It helps us keep going and growing. I appreciate the love. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. And yeah, man, don't forget to smash that like button at the very least. And remember, we will get back on for the late show at 7 p.m. If I could fight Guillermo Rigondeaux versus his opponent Arias, if I could find that fight, if it's actually broadcasted somewhere, then we will be on at 6 o'clock. We'll be on an hour early. We typically go on at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we will get on at 6 p.m. because that's what time the fight starts. If they actually broadcast it. If I can't find where it's being broadcasted, if it's not on YouTube or anything, because I don't think it's on a TV station, then we won't get on. We'll get on at a normal time at 7 o'clock, but if I could find it, then we'll get on at 6 o'clock, you know what I'm saying, for the late show. So I appreciate y'all rocking as always, man. Remember, don't forget to hit that like button, but most importantly, remember with God, we can do anything without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets. Yes, sir. I know y'all saw that picture of me and Roy Jones and Evander Holyfield and Juan Manuel Marquez and some others. I think Terrence Bud Crawford's in that picture too. You know what I'm talking about? I used to go to fights, man. I need to go back. I haven't been to fights in a while. But yeah, I'm out though, chat. Y'all be easy. Shout out to Clone for the super chat as well. Thank you, bro. Not super chat. Shout out to Clone for the Cash App. And shout out to George for the super chat. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank y'all.